NBC Sports, home of Super Bowl 43, welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Last Sunday night, LaDainian Tomlinson scored 3 touchdowns. Looked like the old LT, but strained his groin. By the time we got to this morning, there were multiple reports that he'd suffered a torn tendon in the groin area, but there he is riding the bike. He's in uniform, will play tonight. Andrea Kramer's been all over this story. Andrea, the very latest.
Well, Al North-Turner told me he was surprised when he first heard this report this morning. He said that they would not put Tomlinson at risk by having him play with a detached tendon. Now, Tomlinson would not confirm or deny for me the severity of the injury. He said it is very painful, and then he took a shot for the pain. He said he did not push himself in pregame warm-ups, but was saving himself for the game, but admitted he did not know how effective he would be or how long he would last, but would be honest and come out when he needed to. As for tight end Antonio Gates, he's playing with a right high ankle sprain, but told me of greater concern to him is the Achilles on the same foot. He said it's heavily taped, but Al, he's just worried that it could pop on him.
We're going to get an early answer, I think, to each question, because the Chargers have won the toss. Elect to receive. That's Darren Sproles, who had an 89-yard kickoff return and a 45-yard punt return, both for touchdowns in a game here on November 11th of 2007. Adam Vinatieri, the former Patriot. Peyton Manning awaits his turn. 70,000 in full throat in San Diego. And we are underway. Sproles, one of the best return men in the league. From the 4, up past the 20, taken down at the 22-yard line by Jordan Sen. Here are the San Diego starters.
Phillip Rivers, NC State. LaDainian Tomlinson, TCU.
Chris Chambers, Wisconsin Badgers.
Vincent Jackson, Northern Colorado.
Antonio Gates, Detroit Central High School.
Brandon Monomalayuna, Arizona.
Marcus McNeil, Auburn.
Chris Dillman, Indiana.
Nicholas Hardwick, Purdue.
Mike Goff, University of Iowa.
Jeremy Clary, Kansas State University.
Tomlinson is the tailback. Gates is in the game on the left side at tight end, and they start with LT. And Tomlinson turns the corner and picks up a first down. So you'll wake up to reports of a torn groin and need surgery next week, and you start the game with a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, I was talking to him the other day, and he said that what he's going to do is try and be a power runner and not make a lot of cuts. And you could see on this run, he had excellent blocking. I mean, he caught the Colt defense inside, so he was able to get outside, and he really didn't have to make a cut. He said, I would like to get through this game just being a power, tough, straight-ahead runner. That's not the LT I know.
Now 3 backs in the backfield, and Tomlinson this time over right guard, and that's Bob Sanders, number 21. On the subject of injuries, Bob Sanders, who can be such a difference maker. Another number 21 on either side, a difference maker. But Sanders this year has played in only 6 games and missed 10.
Yeah, but when he plays, he, as you say, is a difference maker. Remember, Tony Dungy used to call him the eraser. That those front 7 guys could make a mistake, lose a gap, and he'll come and make up for him.
2nd and 8. Phillip Rivers out of the shotgun. His first pass of the game is complete. And that's to Antonio Gates. So right off the bat, they go to Tomlinson for a run. They throw the ball to Gates. That's a gain of 6 yards. It will set up a 3rd down and 2.
I think that's an interesting play call there, and I think North Turner is doing something interesting here. You know that there's been all this talk that LT can't play, tore tendon, groin, and all that stuff, and he needs surgery. Run him right off the bat, you know, and show him. You know, and Gates has this, Gates has that. Throw him the ball and show him that you still have to defend those 2 guys.
3 wide against the dime defense. Sproles is the back. On 3rd and 2, Rivers, who led the league in pass rating, is going to get sacked at the 39, and that's Robert Mathis. Mathis, a sack specialist, comes in passing situations. In his 6th year out of Alabama A&M, had a big year, gets the sack here and forces San Diego to punt.
You know, we were talking to North Turner the other day about this game, he said the biggest thing are his 2 tackles blocking those 2 defensive ends. At that time, Jeremy Clary, the right tackle, didn't get the job done on Robert Mathis.
Mike Cyphers booms one into the night air, and it's fair caught by Keywan Ratliff at the 9-yard line. Big year for Cyphers. 52-yard punt here. Here are the Colts starters.
Peyton Manning, University of Tennessee.
Joseph Adai, Louisiana State.
Marvin Harrison, Syracuse. Reggie Wayne, the U.
Anthony Gonzalez, Ohio State.
Dallas Clark, University of Iowa.
Tony Hugo, Arkansas.
Charlie Johnson, Oklahoma State.
Jeff Saturday, North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Dan Faderkyle, University of Calgary.
Ryan Dean, Northern Illinois University.
Faderkyle getting the start tonight instead of the normal starter Mike Pollock, the rookie out of Arizona State. Peyton Manning starts from the gun, 3 wide from the 10-yard line. Flanked in the backfield by Joseph Adai. Manning to the right side, and that's caught, and that's Marvin Harrison, who's really come on in the second half of the season, along with Manning. That's a gain of 8. Peyton Manning, as we said early, because of the knee problems and just trying to get completely healthy, didn't play particularly well the first half of the year. But take a look at that December when he was phenomenal.
Right, I think the first half of the year for Peyton Manning was just his training camp and preseason.
Since he didn't take 1 snap in August. Second down and 2 from the 18-yard line to give it to Adai on an inside handoff. No gain, 3rd and 2. Here is the San Diego defense.
Luis Castillo, Northwestern.
Jamal Williams, Oklahoma State.
Igor Olshansky, Oregon.
Sean Phillips, Purdue.
Stephen Cooper, Maine.
Tim Dobbins, Iowa State.
Giles Tucker, Wake Forest University.
Quentin Jammer, Texas.
Clinton Hart, South Sumter High School.
Eric Weddle, Utah.
Antonio Cromartie, Florida State.
Last year in the regular season game here, those Chargers intercepted Manning 6 times. 3rd and 2. Peyton throws. That is caught on a slant by Anthony Gonzalez. Gonzalez out to the 30-yard line, and a first down for the Colts. And that's something the Colts do so well. They led the league in 3rd down conversions this year, over 50%.
Yeah, look how they did it. They had what we call a bunch. 3 receivers there, and you have 1 goes out, 1 goes in, and 1 hooks in the middle. And against zone defense, this is darn near impossible to cover, especially when Peyton Manning's throwing it.
Gonzalez led the team in 3rd down receptions this season, so you saw a little bit of what Indy does real well. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. The fake run, and then Manning will just throw it away because the pressure was put on the safety blitz by number 32, Eric Weddle. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 for the Colts.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Chargers are trying to do, and what Ron Rivera, their defense coordinator, is trying to do is get pressure on him and get him off his spot. You see him fake it? Here's a spot right here. Now you get him to run. Get off that spot. He goes off to it to the right and just throws it away. If he's able to get in that pocket and step up, he is darn near impossible to defend.
Ted Cottrell was the defensive coordinator and was fired at midseason. And Rivera, who had been on the Bears staff, took over for him. And our first flag of the game, Ron Winter is the referee. Tony Hugo, number 67, was moving the left tackle for Indianapolis.
Ball start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
That's your left tackle, Tony Hugo. And one thing that the Chargers are doing is moving around, you know, showing him something early, showing Peyton Manning something early when he's making these calls. And then within 10 seconds, they say he never snaps the ball before 10 seconds left in the clock. Don't get in the defense you're going to run until after there's 10 seconds on the clock. Now they're in it.
Play clock down to 1 on 2nd down and 15. And Manning will go deep down the right side and 2 deep, intended for Marvin Harrison, but he does draw a flag. Penalty marker down at the 44-yard line. Chargers led the league in defensive pass interference.
Defense number 23. Penalizing the spot of the foul. And a first down.
Something you don't want to lead the league in. More pass interference penalties against San Diego than any other team. That one on Quentin Jammer, and it's worth 30 yards.
You see, here's Quentin Jammer right here. and you see he gets the hand, looks like he has his left hand on Marvin Harrison right there. And the ball was in the air, so that's what they called. That was pretty good coverage. I mean, he didn't have to do that because he did have the safety over the top.
Right. And sometimes they wouldn't draw a flag, which brings up another thing here as the dive picks up too. This crew, the Ron Winter crew, called more penalties for more penalty yardage than any crew in the league this season. The one time they had Indianapolis, they called 12 penalties against the Colts in Green Bay, most against the Colts in a decade.
Yeah, what did Tony Dungy say last night when we talked to him? He said, there's going to be a lot of flags tomorrow night, and we're starting off that way.
Yeah, he told his defensive backs, keep that in mind. 2nd down and 8 at the 42-yard line. Manning, the fake. Manning going deep down the left side, and the pass is incomplete. Wayne was looking toward the middle, then looked back outside. He was covered there by Antonio Cromartie. It'll be 3rd down.
And Reggie Wayne really had Antonio Cromartie beaten there. You just watch him. They think that they can use double moves on him, and that's just a little move to the inside. And then it looked like Reggie Wayne was expecting the ball to be in the inside. It was thrown over his outside shoulder, and by the time he made the adjustment, the ball was by him.
Wayne, 82 catches, led the team. Dallas Clark flanking Manning in the backfield along with a dive. And on 3rd down and 8, Manning has time, slides to his left in the pass. Incomplete. Reggie Wayne could not hold on. Stephen Cooper has a word with him, and the Colts send in the punting group. Don't see that much.
But Stephen Cooper having a word with him, you see a lot. A guy dropping a ball all night. I mean, that is a perfect throw. I mean, there's no reason that ball's not caught. And Reggie Wayne is one of those sure-handed receivers. And you say, well, he was going inside. He heard footsteps. Not Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne, one of the real tough guy wide receivers.
Hunter Smith punting. Darren Sproles standing back at the 10. It's a low snap, and he's able to get it away. And Sproles will let it go, and it will bound into the end zone. It's a touchback. And Phillip Rivers and the offense will take over the 20-yard line. 9.5 left in the quarter, no score. This wild card playoff game is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Nissan, inviting you to shift the way you move through the world. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, when the mountains turn blue, your beer is as cold as the Rockies. And by Sprint, get NFL Mobile Live only on the Now Network. Beautiful aerial shots over downtown San Diego. Aerial coverage brought to you tonight by Duracell. Second possession for the San Diego Chargers, and they start with both Tomlinson and Sproles in the backfield. And on 1st down, Rivers drifts back and then throws incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Let's take a look at the Indy defense.
Raheem Brock, Temple.
Eric Foster, Rutgers University.
Keontae Dawson, Texas Tech.
Dwight Freeney, Syracuse.
Clint Session, Pittsburgh.
Freddie Kiaho, Buena High School.
Taiwan Hagley, Cincinnati.
Kellen Hayden, Illinois.
Bob Sanders, Iowa.
Antoine Bethea, the real HU, Demecca, Howard University.
Tim Jennings, Georgia.
11th ranked defense in the league this year, but they really stepped up in the second half. Sproles is now the tailback, and they'll give it to him. And Sproles at 5'6" was able to elude the first guy through, but not the rest of that defense, and he stopped for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 20-yard line.
I was talking to Bob Sanders last night, and he said that they have a lot of respect for Darren Sproles, and they think the way you have to play him is just like this. Get penetration, get in the backfield, don't let him get started. Because if that guy gets started and gets through that first layer, he is very, very difficult to get to the ground. Very, very difficult to get a hand up.
Yeah. Try to sneak in behind the big tight end playing fullback Manu Maliuna. Out of the shotgun now on 3rd down and 10. Rivers hanging in there, checks down underneath. It's caught on the outside by Gates, so he's caught 2, but only for 7 yards. And it will be 4th down and 3, so it's a 3 and out. The corner Kewan Ratliff making the tackle.
You know, and one of the things that that Norv Turner was talking about is Marcus McNeil has to be able to protect against Dwight Freeney. But again, Phillip Rivers on third down has to get the ball down the field. That time he threw to Antonio Gates, who came from the backfield. He lined up as a back and ran that pattern out of the backfield.
Cypher's first punt was 51 yards. This one will be in that very same neighborhood. Fielded by Ratliff at the 16-yard line, and the coverage is very good as he takes it back to only the 19. A 58-yard boot by Cyphers. LT staying loose. No score. Coming up on NBC a week from tomorrow night, the 66th annual Golden Globe Awards right here on NBC. The Golden Globes. From the 19-yard line, the Indianapolis Colts on 1st and 10. Wayne to the left, Gonzalez is in the slot. And we've got Federkyle moving.
Start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
1st and 15.
You know what's happening here? This Charger defense is trying to give Peyton Manning different pre-looks. And you see how they move their defense, and they move their defensive line and linebackers. It's making the Colts defense jump offside.
Federkyle normally a sub, but starting for the injured Pollock. 1st and 15 now. Manning throws. It's caught outside by Dallas Clark. Makes his first catch up to the 18-yard line. And John, the Chargers, among other things, changed defensive coordinators and also how they get the signals in.
Well, what they're doing now is last time they used a lot of hand signals, and Ron Rivera, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, thought that Peyton Manning had their signals. So this time they're trying to go without signals, or if they do, they've changed their signals. Now he's talking directly to middle linebacker Stephen Cooper.
Paranoia gate. This is Gonzalez who makes the catch and gets tackled at the 24-yard line. Antoine Cason making the stop there, and it will be 3rd down and 5.
I think you're partly right. I think that you say how much of that is true. Peyton Manning knows a lot of things, but knowing all your defenses and signals, I think part is Peyton Manning being pretty smart, and the other part is paranoia.
They also thought he knew the winner of the daily double at Del Mar. 3rd and 5 from the 24-yard line.
The Chargers don't want to be set, and the defense are going to run until the play clock gets down below 10.
Now to the outside, and they run that pick a lot. That's Reggie Wayne or rub or whatever you want to call it, or bubble screen, and they pick up another 1st down on a 3rd down conversion to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that's the thing. Peyton Manning was saying last night, he said there's no contest for a quarterback to see how long they can hold the ball. And this is just Reggie Wayne, a big wide receiver, 3rd and short. Let him come inside and run away from the defender.
From the 33 now. This is a die. The one thing the Colts have not done well this year is run. They're averaging only 3.4 yards per carry. Of course, you've had a die who hasn't been totally healthy all year. Hamstring, shoulder problems. Dominic Rhodes has seen a lot of the action. And the Indianapolis Colts had the 2nd worst rushing attack in the league this season. But Arizona had the worst, and they're moving on to the playoffs.
Right, and the thing is that put so much more pressure on the offensive line to have to pass protect and on Peyton Manning, because it's not only that he has to do it to get 1st downs and touchdowns, but also it's taking away play-action pass.
Here's Clark to the outside, and Clark with that move to the inside, breaking away from Antoine Applewhite, the outside linebacker, turns a 3rd and 2 into a 1st down.
And that's the thing that Peyton Manning has here. He has pretty good protection. And then a guy like Dallas Clark, who just knows every situation, knows how to get open. I mean, he has a great feel most of the time for the middle of the field. That time he caught that one outside the numbers. But he is something very, very special for this offense.
Knew exactly what he had to do, because had he gotten tackled, it would have been 3rd and 2, and he turns it into a 1st. The ball is at the 45-yard line on 1st down. Manning able to step up, feels the pressure, hits Gonzalez, and Gonzalez will turn this into a big gain inside the 30, and he snakes his way all the way to the San Diego 20-yard line. Looked like a video game. Stopped by Cromartie, a 36-yard gain.
Yeah, this is one of the things the Colts thought they could do against this Charger defense is run crossing patterns. You know, just get in there and just keep going all the way across the field. Just run away from the defense. And at some point, as you go all the way across the field, at some point you're going to be open, and that's when Peyton Manning is going to hit him.
Chargers with the next to worst pass defense in the league this season. Only Seattle was worse. Manning throws, and that is Gonzalez able to haul it in with double coverage. Quentin Jammer is right there, the primary defender at the 2-yard line. First and goal, a gain of 17.
You know, Peyton Manning's the MVP, and he has receivers and all that, but the part that you forget a lot of the times is the protection that he gets. I mean, look at this pocket that they give him to throw in, and that is something. They always give him a very strong middle. They'll let the ends come up the field, but the center and 2 guards always have a solid middle so that Peyton Manning can step up.
Darrell Reed, the defensive tackle, is the fullback. They give the ball to Adai. Adai tries to burrow his way in, and he gets inside the 1. It'll be second down and goal with 3.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
This is where, if you're going to get in here, and the Colts know this from the last time they played him, you better get this guy blocked here. If you don't somehow control Jamal Williams, this is going to happen. He is going to cause a pile in the middle.
Reed ran him over that time, but Adai still was stopped shy of the goal line. Now Reed and Adai flank Manning. He gives it to Adai on an inside handoff, and he skates into the end zone for the game's first touchdown.
Good blocking there, and they did exactly what they had to do. You know, we talk about Jamal Williams, and you know you have to get him blocked, and he's darn near impossible to single block. So what do? You start right here, and you start on a double. Then you get him back, and if you put Jamal Williams in the end zone, you will score a touchdown.
An 81-yard drive in 5 minutes, 2 seconds. Adam Vinatieri for the conversion. So with a tick under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter in this AFC wildcard playoff game in San Diego, the Colts are on top, 7-0. On February the 1st, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band will take the field for their first Super Bowl performance ever. The Bridgestone Super Bowl 43 halftime show featuring Bruce and the E Street Band, February 1st, Super Bowl Sunday, right here on NBC. Adam Vinatieri to kick off for the Western end zone. Darren Sproles moves up a couple of strides, fields at the 3-yard line, up past the 20, and ripped down by Reed, who plays defense, fullback, and is a maven on special teams at the 25-yard line. Manning 6 for 6 on that last drive. 7-0 Colts. And speaking with Norv Turner the other day, one of the things he said was key for a San Diego victory tonight, the performance of the tackles. Marcus McNeil and Jeremy Clary taking care of Freeney and Mathis, the Colts pass rushers from the outside. First down now. Rivers slings it to the outside, and that's Gates. And again, Gates playing with that high ankle sprain. Hadn't practiced all week. Has already caught 3 passes tonight, albeit short ones. Clint Session makes the tackle.
Right, and they haven't thrown to a wide receiver yet, so you know that that's to come, because that's what the Chargers are now. They're a Phillip Rivers team. They're a pass protection team, as we just talked about, and using the outside receivers. Vincent Jackson on one side and Chris Chambers on the other side.
Second and 4 from the 32. Fake to Tomlinson. Rivers flushed out. Chased. Throws and misses the open man. He had Manu Maliuna, who had gotten free at the Indianapolis 40-yard line. Couldn't get to him. Flag down. ineligible man downfield is the call from Ron Winter.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense number 79. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
It's Mike Goff.
And you wonder what the heck he was doing downfield, because you look, he wanted the 2 guys deep, and he has 1 guy deep in the right side, 2 guys deep in the right side, 1 guy deep in the left side, and the protection broke down. See, he has a deep there and a deep there, and then he had another vertical on the other side, and that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to go first down, play action pass, get the ball deep.
Tomlinson out now, and Sproles is in. Manet is in the game as the 3rd wide receiver. Rivers gets hit as he throws from behind by Dwight Freeney, who tried to get it to Sproles, and that's incomplete. And it's 3rd down and 9 for San Diego.
Yeah, and that's a matchup we were talking about. Dwight Freeney on Marcus McNeil. And you're going to see him here. He starts up the field, then he does the spin. And once he comes off that spin, he just keeps going, and he really powers himself into it. That's Mathis coming from the outside, making Phillip Rivers step up. So you got a spin on one side where a guy's coming up to your face, and then another guy coming on your outside shoulder, making you step up right into that spin.
3rd down and 9, and the inside handoff goes to Sproles, and he gets the first down. So they run out of the gun, something they don't do very often, and that's a 13-yard gain for a first down.
Yeah, and that's what he does. I mean, he runs these screens and these draws. Here you're going to see the right guard, Chris Dealman. He just pulls around, makes a very good block there. Sproles, little Darren Sproles, only 5'6". You can't even see him. Watch him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. And boom, 9 yards, first down.
So they run out of the gun, something they did 6% of the time this year, lowest of any team in the league from the 40-yard line. Now Tomlinson. Stopped by Keontae Dawson at the 44-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6 with 1:20 to play in the opening quarter.
And you see Tomlinson there just kind of, trying not to make a lot of cuts, making a run, coming out. Told me the other day that he wants to manage this game so that he's there in the 4th quarter. I mean, he doesn't want to go in and just play the 1st quarter and say, I can't play anymore. He wants to not only play in this game, he wants to 2, be effective, and 3, finish it.
2nd and 6, final minute of the opening stanza from the 44-yard line. Sproles is hit by Session initially and then lunges forward for a couple more before Antonio Johnson makes the stop. Tony Dungy. I'll tell you what, you know, it's easy. You hear so many numbers and you just let them go by, float by. To the playoffs, 10 straight seasons. Nobody in the history of the NFL has done that. 10 years in a row.
No, and if you ever coached, you know how hard it is to win a game. And then how hard it is to get to the playoffs. And then to do it 10 straight years, utterly amazing.
All 7 in Indianapolis and his last 3 in Tampa Bay. Rivers throws, and it's incomplete. The coverage is good, intended for Chris Chambers and Melvin Bullen, who's really had a good year. He's played a lot because of the injury to Sanders and has come on and has been a very effective defender, is there for the coverage.
Yeah, very effective both against the pass and the run. Very good run player also. And here you just get that slant, and you know where that guy's going, and you can't interfere, but he makes a great job of getting that left hand in.
Mike Cyphers. Ratliff's going to let it go, and the Chargers are going to make sure that Peyton Manning will go to work with a long field. It didn't deter him the last time. BC won 81 yards in 5 minutes, and that is the end of the first quarter with the score Indianapolis 7, San Diego nothing. And this NFL wildcard playoff game continues after these messages. Archie Manning will be happy to know that his daughter-in-law and his wife are there. Ashley and Olivia so far having a good time. They've watched Peyton lead the team to the game's only touchdown as we start the second quarter. Al Michaels, John Madden, Andrea Kramer in San Diego as Manning gives the ball to Adai, who who picks up Dominique Rhodes up to the 4-yard line. Rhodes in the game for the first time after a dive played the first quarter. Gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Manning, only quarterback in the history of the league to win 10 or more games in each of 7 straight seasons, completing his 11th year in the league, and of course has not missed a start. Started on opening day as a rookie and has not been out. 2nd and 9.
Colts have 2 tight ends in there now to help their running.
And it is juggled, and then it is caught by Gian Robinson, who's been seeing a little bit more action as the season has progressed out of Missouri Western State, a free agent. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
And Gian Robinson is a tight end that you usually run when he's in there. He's more of a blocking tight end than he is a pass receiving tight end, because if the Colts really want to pass, they'll take him out, keep Dallas Clark in there, and go 3 wide receivers like they are now.
Crowd realizes it's early in the game, but to stop him here would force him to punt out of the end zone. 3rd down and 6. And Manning will look to his left and throw, and Gonzalez will get tackled shy of the 1st down. Antoine Cason, rookie out of Arizona, their #1 pick in the 2008 draft, is able to get him around the ankle and stop him short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th and 1, and in comes the punting unit.
Yeah, big tackle by Cason, but pretty good pressure here. This is what the Chargers want to do, is get pressure and make Peyton Manning throw the ball before he's ready. So they got a little pressure right up the middle on him. Gonzalez gets the ball there, and Cason makes a great tackle.
1st down saving tackle. That's 5 catches already for Gonzalez tonight. Hunter Smith's 2nd punt of the game coming. Justin Snow to snap it. Sproles is back to run it back. Flag is down before the snap, and they took too much time. The play clock was at 0.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
It was probably one of those things that someone thought, before we put the punt team in there, let's make sure we don't want to go for it on 4th down. Now, you know, Tony Dungy, there's no way at this part of the field he's going to go for it on 4th down anyway, but someone probably said, hold up, hold up, and the punting team held up too long.
2 false start penalties and 1 delay of game penalty against Indianapolis. Smith out of the end zone. Sproles moves to the near sideline, collects it at the 39, gets a block into Colt territory, tackled at the 44-yard line, and that's what they wanted to do. Stop him deep, give Rivers a short field. 12 and a half to go in the half. 7-0 Indianapolis. Norv Turner concluding his 2nd season as the head coach of the San Diego Chargers. A little bit of their season in microcosm. Sean Merriman thought he could play this year. Played 1 game and then had to have knee surgery. He feared that. It happened. He had Hockley infamous call in Denver in week 2, but they were able to overcome that by the end of the year. Despite a 4-8 record at the beginning of December, winning their last 4 games while Denver lost 3 of 4. They won last week. Both Denver and San Diego wound up 8-8. San Diego had the tie break. Speaking of Merriman, there he is. Has already had surgery. 3-time Pro Bowl selection on the sideline tonight, watching Rivers go to work with Tomlinson in the backfield from the 44-yard line. Play fake, chased, and then the pass is caught, and that is Gates making the catch, and he's been the only Charger who's made a catch tonight. Rivers has completed 4 out of 7, all of them to Gates.
And that was a bootleg. You know, the Colts are playing run on 1st down, so what they do is they fake the run, and then Rivers bootlegs out there, and Antonio Gates is wide open. See, here's a bootleg. You see what that does? It keeps the whole Colt defense over on one side, and Gates all by himself over on the other side. The Colt defense is a quick flow defense, so play action pass and bootleg passes work well.
On 2nd down and 2, you've got LT picking up 3 yards. to the 33-yard line, and that will move the chains. Only the third first down for San Diego, a very potent offense tonight.
And knowing Norv Turner, this is the time that he likes to take a shot. I mean, he hasn't gone to his wide receivers yet. The Colts are playing a lot of cover 3 and cover 6, having their safety up on first down, and I think it would be a great time to throw to the ball to the wide receiver, although he's only playing with one.
From the 33-yard line. The spin around, and then the pass is caught over the middle, and this is Gates inside the 20, inside the 10, looks back for a straight arm and takes the ball to the 3-yard line. That's a 30-yard gain, setting up a first down and goal.
Antonio Gates is kind of half tight end, half wide receiver. He starts as tight end, then he splits out, and he ends up as a wide receiver. And that's the pass that you want to throw to a big receiver, is you want to throw that slant. And again, once he gets in there, you know, that's it. And then when you know a guy has a bad ankle is when he's out in front and they're going behind and he turns around to look back to see if they're gaining on him. You know that ankle is bothering him, but he's gotten it up and playing.
A stiff arm from behind. First and goal. Now they give it to Tomlinson. Touchdown. Wow. And that wow is because all week long, the whole story here was, would Tomlinson play? Would Gates play? I think.
It was a big play to play before to Antonio Gates. Here he gets a pretty good block right there by Jacob Hester, his fullback. Hester, an undersized fullback, just learning how to make those blocks. And each time I watch him on film, he's getting better and better at it.
Kading for the extra point. And the San Diego Chargers take advantage of that short field. 4 plays, 44 yards. And early in the second quarter at Qualcomm Stadium, it's 7-7. This wild card playoff game from San Diego being brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. By Warner Brothers' new motion picture, Yes Man, now playing in theaters everywhere. By Bud Light, the difference is drinkability. And by Chevy, an American Revolution. Temperature low 50s, San Diego, overcast skies. Tonight, 7-7 is the score with 10:15 to play in the half, and Nate Kading is ready to kick off to Chad Simpson. Low kick, and Kading went down as he kicked off. And then the kick is brought back to the 34-yard line. Fielded there by Darrell Reed. Doing everything, but Kading fell down after the kickoff. And Indianapolis will take over, and that's why the kick was short. Odd road for Tony Dungy, whose team is used to getting out of the gate like a horse running the opening fraction in 20 flat. Manning missing all of preseason, and then a 3-4 start, but no losses in November and December. 9 straight wins to conclude the season. Picked up a wild card berth, and of all things, Peyton Manning, who was so frustrated and mystified. He'd never been hurt, never had surgery before training camp, winds up with a 3rd MVP award. Adai as the running back on first down from the 33-yard line. Colts beginning this drive.
Peyton Manning is changing, and the Chargers keep changing their defense.
Adai picks Weddle up on a blitz, and then reaching out for it is Anthony Gonzalez, having a tremendous game. Gonzalez has already made 6 catches tonight. The coverage on the play by Kaysen, that's a gain of 20 yards.
Yeah, and Kaysen is in there. He's the nickel back or 5th defensive back, and he covers the slot. Pretty good protection, but I mean, look at Peyton Manning. I mean, this isn't bad coverage. I mean, he's right there. He makes him throw it over his head, and he just puts it right on Anthony Gonzalez. Sometimes when he's hot and in rhythm, playing by Peyton Manning, he's darn near impossible to defend.
There's Adai, and Adai gets bunched up and goes nowhere. Stephen Cooper. You know, we had that opening night game on NBC the first Sunday night game with Chicago at Indianapolis. Remember when Peyton walked into the stadium that night? You could tell he'd lost a lot of weight. There he was, and the suit didn't fit, John.
No, I know, and you just knew that the way he walked in and the way he walked out here in the field, and you looked at those 2 scars on his knee, that he was going to play, and he did play, but he wasn't ready. Then he got ready and became the MVP of the league.
Second down and 9 from the 47-yard line. Manning sliding to his left, buying time, hits a dive, and the dive will be stopped a yard shy of the first down. Well, you saw him. He looked gaunt. Now he has his weight back, and he looks like the Peyton Manning. Is playing like the Peyton Manning of old. He had real short hair then. All of a sudden, we looked at him last night. When's the last time he got a haircut?
Well, he looks so different, because you're so used to that, tight haircut. And he said that Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, told him, look, when you have a streak going, don't change anything. So Peyton Manning hasn't had a haircut in 9 weeks.
Right.
And that's not like, some guys can do that. 9 weeks is nothing. To Peyton Manning, 9 weeks is big. Third down is big.
This is the equivalent of hockey's Stanley Cup beard. And this is Clark taking it on the end around. And Dallas Clark will pick up a first down. So on 3rd and 1, a little gadget, and that moves the chains.
Dallas Clark can do so many things. And we know that he can be a tight end. He can be a slot. He can get in the backfield. He can block. And here he shows that from the tight end spot, he can run a reverse. And again, we talked about the Colt defense being fast flow, quick flow. The Charger defense is also fast flow. They get him flowing one way, and Dallas Clark comes back against the grain on the reverse.
1st and 10. In a gap in the middle of that Charger line with Williams out for the moment. Manning lines up in the shotgun. 5-man rush, and the pass is underthrown. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Going back to Peyton's hair on there, it was on opening day.
And you see, and that's the Peyton Manning you're used to seeing. And when a guy starts doing that on a football field, you know that his hair is not the way it's supposed to be.
Doesn't know what to do with it.
Now, Peyton Manning with long hair isn't Peyton Manning, but I mean 9 straight. As I say, you don't mess with a winning streak.
Next thing you know, he'll get a Vitalis commercial out of this. 2nd and 10. And it's dropped by Gonzalez, who'd already caught a half dozen. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the San Diego 29-yard line.
And Anthony Gonzalez has really developed into a very good slot, and Peyton Manning has developed a lot more confidence in him.
And Manning right up to the line, making sure San Diego couldn't get anybody in to change the defense.
He got him up, and he made him get into something. It looked like he didn't even have a play. Looking at Tom Moore saying, give me something. He got up there the first time, and he was just up there, up under center with no play.
Meanwhile, the play clock goes all the way down to 1 on 3rd down and 10. Manning dancing around, throws, and that'll be caught, but only a gain of about 3 by Clark. He's tackled there by Eric Weddle, and Adam Vinatieri will come out to attempt about a 43-yard field goal.
And he has plenty of leg for this. I was watching him in pregame, and he was kicking 55-yard field goals going this way.
He kicked that 51-yarder at the end of the regular season game between these two teams 6 weeks ago to win the game. Snow will snap it. Hunter Smith will hold it. 43-yard attempt to try to give the Colts the lead again. And right down the middle. 43-yard field goal for Vinatieri. 6:46 to go in the half. 10-7 Colts. A dance competition unlike any other. It'll be country against country. The show is Superstars of Dance, and it will be premiering tomorrow night right here on NBC, 9 Eastern and Pacific. Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, longtime home of the Chargers. Darren Sproles is back to receive the Vinatieri kick. 2 yards in the end zone. Sproles darts up past the 20 and then gets upended at the 29, and they're saying he was down. Sproles got whacked at the 29-yard line by Keywan Ratliff. 32-yard run back play dead, and a first down at the 29 as they start this drive. We check in with Andrea.
Well, guys, there's no question that LaDainian Tomlinson is playing in a lot of pain. You can see it all over his face. You could see it when he came off the field after scoring that touchdown. The injury has also altered his sideline routine. Typically, he sits on the bench between series, but between every series tonight, he's been on the bike. He jogs around trying to stay warm. Relatively speaking for San Diego, it's cool down here and pretty damp. Now, as for the Colts, their starting cornerback, Kelvin Hayden, has gone to the locker room with a hip injury. They're calling his return questionable.
So Ratliff goes over to that side for them. Keywan Ratliff, Tim Jennings, the other corner. Here is Sproles for a gain of 1 up to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
I think Kelvin Hayden's last play was when Antonio Gates beat him on that slant pattern.
Gates is the only man who's caught a pass tonight for San Diego. He's caught all 5 of Rivers' completions. Meanwhile, Manning has gone to 6 different receivers.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are really concerned with pass protection. They're using a lot more 2 tight ends.
And speaking of pass protection, that breaks down because you got Freeney coming around the corner and getting a sack of Rivers.
Brandon Montemagliona tried to block him that time. That was one of the tight ends I'm talking about right here. 2 tight ends, and they just keep him in to block, and he just runs right around Montemagliona. But McNeil has to get back there and help him right there, and he doesn't get there. You know, because I mean that was really where Montemagliona was going to block him, and then McNeil was going to come out and help, and they didn't get to Dwight Freeney. And then the thing that Norv Turner worries about and Phillip Rivers worries about is not the sack as much as the strip sack fumble.
It was close. Freeney at 10.5 sacks during the regular season. Blitz again. Rivers steps up, slings it to the outside, but Sproles can only get the ball back up to the 28-yard line. He's tackled there by Jennings. And on 4th and 11, San Diego sends in Cyphers for the 4th time.
Yeah, but that just shows you what great pass rushers do to you. They make you get out of your offense. They make you, keep extra blockers in there. Then you can't get the ball to your wide receivers. Then you have to throw to your tight end. And you say, how did that all start? Well, it all started with a defensive end against an offensive tackle.
Cyphers all 3 punts tonight, 50 or more yards, and this one is a monster. This one will land at the 5-yard line with some backspin. Ratliff will take it there and get buried at the 7. And Norv Turner talking to us all year long, and he's saying, can you guys do anything to get this guy to the Pro Bowl? Too late, but maybe next year. 67 yards. Four weeks from tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday. The Today Show will be live from Tampa starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Pre-game coverage noon Eastern. And then, of course, Super Bowl 43 from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa will kick off at 6:28 Eastern time.
Can't wait for that one.
Yep. 29 days. Will one of these 2 teams get there? This is about as good a wild card matchup as you can get. 2 red-hot teams, each capable of running the table. Dominique Rhodes starts as the running back here from the 7-yard line. Picks up 3 up to the 10-yard line. He's tackled there by Jamal Williams, the nose tackle.
We talk about that great punt by Cyphers and what that does to an offense. It makes them go 2 tight ends, and you use the same type of offense coming out. Coming out of your own territory as you do going in. So they started with 2 tight ends trying to get a run just to get a little room. Now they go shotgun and 3 wide receivers.
2nd down and 7.
Chargers defense showing them something now and then changing.
Here they come, and from the outside, Manning's able to get it away, and it is Wayne. Did he make the catch? No. One official came in, looked like he was going to signal catch, but out of bounds. Antonio Cromartie with Wayne. Wayne couldn't get down inbounds, and that'll make it 3rd down and 7. Tim Dobbins put the pressure on Manning on that play.
Yeah, then you could just see that they, started one way, then went to the outside. Looked like Cromartie got a piece of that ball, so Reggie Wayne didn't get control of it until he was out of bounds.
Just enough. Just got enough of it. And again, a big 3rd down stop coming up here, as was the case the last time when they stopped them deep and Rivers was able to take advantage of the short field. 3rd down and 7.
Chargers only have 2 linemen in there, 4 linebackers. And then that's their nickel defense, 5 defensive backs.
And it's possible that Dungy's going to challenge it. He looked up at the board. It was being juggled, and here goes Ron Winter over to the bench and a challenge from Dungy.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Indianapolis has challenged the incomplete pass.
Nothing like a little ambient sound in the background. 3:55 to the half. A challenge upcoming. 10-7 Colts. All right, Tony Dungy's career record 38%. The NFL average this year was 37%. As you take a look at this again, 2 things to keep in mind. Number 1, when exactly does Wayne have control? Doesn't have control of it here. Look at the right foot as well. The right foot is right up against the line. Now, as he gains control, like right there, he is still moving. He has to have established control and then get both feet in bounds. So the way we're seeing this right now is he's juggling it. This will not be overturned. And again, the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. Ron Winter coming out to make the call now.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is an incomplete pass. 3rd down, the 10-yard line. Indianapolis is charged with a first-team timeout.
So Tony Dungy felt that was worth a challenge. It would have been a first down. Instead, the ball comes back to the 10-yard line.
Right, it would have been a first down and gotten them a lot better field position and down and distance situation, obviously. And here I would expect that the Chargers are going to bring some heat on this down.
3rd down and 7. Crowding the line.
They were going to bring some heat, and then I think they just audibleized to cover.
They backed off. It's up to Clark on a screen, and he can't get out of anybody's way at the 11-yard line. So he gets stopped there. And again, that Charger defense twice now has been able to hold Indianapolis without a first down after a great Cyphers punt.
Watch number 54, Stephen Cooper up here. After Peyton Manning audibles, that's a hand signal that Cooper is giving. And I think it's a coverage. I think it's cover 2 is what it is. Anyway, I think they did have a blitz call, got out of the blitz, and went into coverage.
Good chess match right there. Perfect. Manning on one side, Cooper on the other. Smith's kick is not very good. It bounces at the Colt 45 and will be down at about that spot. So again, Rivers has that short field, which he took advantage of the last time, with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in the opening half.
You know, when you're talking about the Charger defense and what they're doing, they believe that Peyton Manning doesn't make his calls until the play clock gets below 10. So they don't show their defense until the play clock is at or off 10. See, so now he's made his calls. Now they make their shifts, and they show him one defense before 10 seconds left, and then they get in the defense that they're going to run right at the end. And that has been very, very effective so far for the Chargers defense.
So after Cyphers had a 67-yard punt, the defense for San Diego holds. A 34-yard punt for Smith. Now you've got Sproles. Sproles through the middle, and Sproles will have a first down before he's taken down by Bethea at the 34-yard line. Got in behind Marcus McNeil and Jacob Hester, and a gain of 11.
You know, and the way they got in behind Marcus McNeil is they pulled him. Watch McNeil right here. He's going to pull to the right. Sproles has patience, gets right in behind him, makes one cut, and then makes the second cut. Sproul at 5'6". Look at the size. They just can't see him behind those big offensive linemen. But I'll tell you, he's something special too. I mean, in addition to that, he's a great runner.
Rivers now throws, and the catch is made. They're going to rule it a 12-yard gain for Chris Chambers as they signal he makes the catch at the 22-yard line.
You know, one of the things, you know, we talk about Sproles, and you think, well, he's only 5'6", and you know, you worry about a smaller running back. Can he block? He's the guy that gets Dwight Freeney on a chip as he goes out for the pattern.
Well, you know, this is interesting. I mean, if Dungy wants to challenge this, And we're going to get to the 2-minute warning. If Tony challenged it and lost, that would be the end of his challenges for the night. So it stands for the moment. 2-minute warning. This is a very interesting situation here. We're at the 2-minute warning, but Tony Dungy could still challenge that last play. Now look at this. This is a 13-yard gain in the first down. When does Chambers have possession and when are his feet down or out of bounds? Dungy could challenge. He might win that challenge. The problem is, because he'd already challenged one and lost, that would have been the end of it. So he discussed this with Ron Winter during the break, decides not to challenge. The play will stand, and here is Sproles to the 20-yard line. But that was a fascinating little back and forth right there as to whether Tony should or shouldn't.
Yeah, then he would have used all his challenges, and he would have used one more timeout.
He might have won that because the left toe was coming up as Chambers made the catch. It could have been overturned. It was that close, but Dungy, for whatever reason, and I have to think part of the equation would have to be he has to keep a challenge in his pocket for the second half.
You know, and we were talking to North Turner the other day, and he said Darren Sproles in this game could very well carry the ball 25 times.
On 2nd and 9, that's a pass intended for Gates, and it's incomplete.
And I can see that coming. I mean, it looks like to me that, you know, he's going to be the back, and he's going to be the workhorse.
Sproles has carried 6 times tonight, as has Tomlinson. Sproles has also caught a pass. Gates has caught 5 of the Chargers' 7 completions tonight. There are the numbers. Very similar. LT into the end zone for San Diego's only touchdown tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just went maximum protection here.
Now you pick up a first down with Chambers over the middle. And on 3rd and 9, Rivers is able to send the ball right over the middle, inside the 10. 1st and goals. We tick down to a minute.
Yeah, and I know just North Turner is thinking right here, I am going to get this protected. I am going to slide. I'm going to chip. I'm going to do everything to keep Dwight Freeney out of there. Then whatever I get after that is going to be frosting on the cake. But we're not going to get that strip fumble.
Kevin Hayden back in the game. Here's Sproles. Touchdown, San Diego.
Not a bad option, is it? You don't have LT, but you do have Darren Sproles.
San Diego with a lead for the first time in the game. A 9-yard run after a 34-yard punt, 45-yard drive. Nate Kading for the extra point. When you look at an MVP for the first half, don't forget about the punter. Mike Cypher is setting everything up. 2 short fields, and San Diego cashes in on both.
Watch Jacob Hester there was talking about how he's become a better blocker. And part of being a lead blocker is getting through to that second level. And I think Hester, because he's been a tailback, does have that talent. See how you find work your way through to get on your guy. And then Sproles to me is something special. I mean, he's, you know, you think, you know, he's small, but I mean, he's quick and he can make moves. And then he does have some power at the end because, you know, they always say the lowest guy wins. Whoever gets the pads lowest, he will always be the lowest guy.
And will he be a sought-after free agent in the offseason?
He would be, if it were me, he'd be sought after to stay right here.
Yes, right, including San Diego. Last year they had to let Michael Turner go, elected to keep Tomlinson. Now Sproles' contract is up. Here's Kading to kick off. He slipped on his last kickoff. This time Kading remains upright. The boot is fielded at the 8-yard line by Chad Simpson. Simpson running parallel to the 20-yard line, and he's taken down there. The ball is loose inside the 20-yard line. And the Chargers have come up with the ball. Anthony Waters recovers the fumble with 33 seconds remaining.
This is one area that I felt coming into this game that the Chargers do have an advantage. Special teams.
Now, for the moment, they're going to say down by contact is what I think I heard Ron Winter just say. There's no challenge here. It can be reviewed upstairs. The Chargers are nearly apoplectic about this call, but again, it's a booth review situation.
Right. Did the ball start out before the knee hits the ground? I would say yes.
Yes, I would too, and that's Kasim Osgood, who's their special teams maven.
San Diego.
If nothing else, San Diego takes a timeout to make sure the guys upstairs take a long look at this, or a long enough look to say we have to review it. Yes, it is, and there's the announcement from Ron Winter that it will be reviewed. So Simpson losing control of the ball. It looks like it is coming loose before his knee is down.
This is what Kasim Osgood does so well. He's always the first guy down there and always going for the strip, always going to make something happen. Here he has his left hand on the ball there. He's starting a strip. The knee is down. And I don't know if the ball has started out. That is close. It's closer that time. It looks closer than it did earlier.
From that angle, it's closer than it looked from the other angle.
Knee down there.
Right. And again, the ruling on the field is one of the critical issues here. On an either way call, you go with what you call on the field. Knee appears to be down. Ball is coming out.
The play is being reviewed to determine if the ball came out before the runner's knee was down.
Well, the crowd misinterpreted what he said. He said the play is being reviewed, and the cheer from the crowd was as if the call is going to be overturned. I'm not sure it is, though.
Well, they thought that he had been reviewing it that whole time.
Right. So did I.
So did I. You wonder what he'd been doing.
Yeah.
Here again, number 81, Osgood, pulling the ball out. The ball is starting to leave. You can see the knee is down, but where's the ball?
The other component here, too, is you have to prove it's a fumble. This is what Winter's looking for. And also that San Diego recovered the ball, which appears to be apparent. There's Osgood creating the fumble. Anthony Waters comes up with the football.
Tony Dungy is sprinting.
Sort of.
No, he's going down there to get his words in. He's all the way down to the 23-yard line. You know the guy he's talking to over there, in these playoff games you have two alternate officials, and that's one of them right there.
Now here's the other big play, of course, that Chambers catch, and we talked about it. It was a first down. It took the ball from the 34 to the 21. As he collects it, his left foot is up. And then he never gets it down. So I think, as you look at it again from another angle, Tony elected not to challenge. And a lot of this had to do, there it was. And I think Dungy would have won that challenge, but just did not want to leave himself in a playoff game without a second-half challenge.
You know, and especially in these types of games with the Colts and the Chargers, it always seems to come down to the fourth quarter and like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So, you know, having a challenge before that last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter can be very important.
The runner with the ball in his control had his knee down on the ground. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. It's first down, Indianapolis.
Yeah, that one angle proved to be very conclusive in terms of getting his knee down. So the ball will be at the 20-yard line. Here's his knee.
And there's the ball. I remember in the old days when a fumble was a fumble.
They should have put some more time back on the clock, though, because the clock kept going until Waters was tackled. But they leave 33 seconds up on the clock. The ball is at the 20-yard line. Here's Manning now. Manning to the outside, and it's almost intercepted by Eric Weddle. Intended for Dallas Clark. 28 seconds and second down and 10.
I'll tell you, in this first half, this Charger defense has done a great job. I mean, they wanted to disguise everything. They wanted to be physical. They wanted Peyton Manning not to know what they were doing before they did it. And I think there's, as close to perfection against this Colt offense as you can be. Second down and 10. Let me just amend one thing. Time can only be put back on the clock after a reversal. So if the play stands, it stands even though it cost the offense X number of seconds. Joseph Adai takes the ball up to the 23-yard line as Peyton Manning says, enough's enough right now. We'll just take it to the locker room if we can. But the San Diego Chargers have another idea. They say, we'll take a timeout. Coming up, the Toyota halftime show. Bob Costas, the bus. Matt Millen is there. They'll break down the first half. Look back at the highlights of the Cardinals' second postseason win in the last 61 years, all ahead on the Toyota halftime show. Let's go to Andrea.
Well, guys, LaDainian Tomlinson went in the locker room after the Chargers scored that touchdown, and that was the plan, that if they did score, they would get him in early. He went in with the trainer and a team doctor to check him out and to get a head start on treatment if needed. So if they were to come back, there's no LT.
LT 5 carries 25 yards. Turner takes the timeout. They have one remaining, so if they stop them here, they can use it, at least force a punt. And if you force a punt, you got a chance to have Sproles run it back.
And the other thing is, if you can back them up here a little more, you know that fair catch rule and the free kick, you can do that. Fair
catch, and it's a free kick with no rushers. Here's Adai, and Adai's going to make that all moot. A moot point as he picks up a first down, is out of bounds at the 34-yard line with 15 seconds left on the clock.
Usually that rule will always become moot. I know I was a head coach in the NFL for 10 years, and I looked for that play for 10 years, never did it. Always had it set up. Okay, we're going to do this. We'll take the fair catch and we'll get the free kick. Never did. Saw it once. Paul Brown did it once.
You were too busy designing the holy roller, weren't you? First and 10.
Worked the heck out of it. Right here on this field.
Right here, you bet. Now Manning trying to buy time, and that pass is incomplete. Second down and 10. And you're right, John. That defense has done a great job after Manning was able to connect with Gonzalez on that one drive. Indianapolis' only touchdown drive of the half.
Well, they're putting pressure on Peyton Manning, and again, you don't sack him, but you can still be successful with the pressure. Making him throw it before he's ready, making him throw it where he doesn't want to, making him throw it short when he wants to go deep. All those things are effective pressure.
And this time that pass is incomplete, intended for Gonzalez at the 50-yard line. It'll be third down and 10. The winner of this game wins a trip to either Pittsburgh or Nashville. You won't know which until the game between Baltimore and Miami plays itself out tomorrow. But if Baltimore were to win that game, they would go to Tennessee. The winner here would go to Pittsburgh. Otherwise, it's the reverse if Miami wins the game. Third and 10. Will end the first half by taking the ball to the 37-yard line. So we've come to halftime. Good game. San Diego 14, Indianapolis 10 in this AFC wildcard game. Coming up next, the Toyota halftime show with Bob Costas in the game. The road to the Super Bowl, 29 days from today as we come back to San Diego. Al Michaels, John Madden, Andrea Kramer, our entire NBC Sports crew here. LaDainian Tomlinson, 5 carries for 25 yards in that first half. Tomlinson, much like last year, got hurt in the Indianapolis divisional playoff game. Then he was in uniform but on the bench almost the entire way against New England's. Behind the dark visor, there is Sproles, who has supplanted him, at least for the most part tonight. But San Diego in that same situation with a couple of very key injuries, but again, as was the case last year, playing very well. From the 2-yard line, running the kickback. This will be Chad Simpson at the 27-yard line, first down. Here comes Manning, and here comes Andrea.
All right, Al, well, the Chargers trainer and LaDainian Tomlinson through the Chargers both say that he is fine. Now, Norv Turner said, aside from his concern about LT and how he can hold up in the second half, he wants to get his wide receivers more involved. Chris Chambers has 2 receptions. He's the only one. As for Tony Dungy, why didn't he challenge the Chris Chambers catch? He said he thought he caught the ball. He didn't have enough evidence to overturn it, and he didn't want to be in the same position as he was with the Reggie Wayne incompletion. And he does expect Calvin Hayden to be back this half. Hayden came back toward the end of that first half, so in the secondary on first down. This is Manning throwing deep over the middle and finding Reggie Wayne, and Reggie Wayne gets free on the right side and is out of bounds inside San Diego territory at the 43-yard line. A gain of 31 on the opening play of the third period.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was saying last night that this is kind of their new best way to get deep. You know, that they're having a tough time running their wide receivers up the field. So instead of going up the field, they're going across the field. Now Peyton Manning, when he's going to take, it's going to take a little time, so he has to work the pocket, hold the ball, move him on just a little to buy an extra split second to get that cross in there.
From the 43-yard line, Indianapolis still looking for a running game all season long, looking for a running game next to last in rushing, and tonight that's a die. On his 10th carry, he's gained only 28 yards. Their biggest rush was that 9-yard gain by Clark on the end around.
Right, and I think that they'll be looking for a running game all night, but they want to do just enough of it so that the Chargers have to play run and that they can maybe play action pass some.
Second down and 8. And that's caught on the near side by Joseph Adai, coming out of the backfield and making the catch just short of the 33-yard line. And it appears from here to be a little short of the first down.
Yeah, and that's probably a better way to get a long gainer to your running back. I mean, Joseph Adai, you run him inside, you get a yard or 2. You throw him the ball in the flat, you can get 5 or 6.
Third down short, 1. As you can see, they've had far more effectiveness passing in these situations than running, and they'll stay on the ground, and it's a dive. So we put up that graphic, and again, that's the whole thing about Indianapolis this year offensively, that running game, unable to get on track, 3.4 yards per carry on average, trying to run through Jamal Williams.
Right, and he got in the backfield, and that's what you can't have. In this situation, you can't get penetration. Jamal Williams gets a penetration. He just pushes Jeff Saturday right back, and then there's no place to cut. There's no cutback. You see, he looks to cutback, and the only thing there is big Jamal Williams, and the Colts are going for it.
Darrell Reed, the defensive lineman, is the fullback. Adai is the tailback. 4th and 1. The fake to Adai. This time they'll try to do it through the air. Manning is pressured. Manning will throw a wobbly pass that's incomplete. Weddle with the coverage on the play intended for Gian Robinson. Just enough pressure as Manning was flushed out of the pocket. Castillo running him toward the sideline, and the Chargers take over on downs.
Yeah, Peyton Manning sitting there on the bench, he just slammed the pictures down because he did have Reggie Wayne open on this one. It was a bootleg. First, he's looking for number 44, Dallas Clark there. Then he threw it to Gian Robinson. He didn't want to do that, but look what he has deep here. Reggie Wayne, a little stutter step, and he gets by Antonio Cromartie.
And Castillo was able to put enough pressure on Manning to force him to settle for an attempt to Robinson. And this is Darren Sproles, knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Antonio Johnson.
I think that's why he was slamming those pictures down on the bench, because he just looked and he'd seen that, you know, had he had a little time, that he could have thrown a touchdown pass to Reggie Wayne.
Tomlinson still on the bench here in the third quarter, early third. Rivers, 34 touchdown passes, tying Drew Brees for the league lead this year. Led the league in passer rating. Back to throw. Sends it off into the flat to Sproles. And Sproles is up to the 36-yard line for a very short gain. Tackled there by the outside linebacker, Tywan Hagler. Gain of 2 3rd and 8.
You know, I haven't noticed it a lot tonight, but the Charger players were talking this week about the field being slippery. They said they felt it a little last week. They saw it in the Holiday Bowl where everyone was slipping on this field, and I haven't seen much of it tonight, but maybe that one by Darren Sproles there was a slip.
They had the Holiday Bowl, the Poinsettia Bowl was played here as well. Game last Sunday night, 3rd and 7 from the 37. Rivers gets contacted but gets it away, and the pass is complete, and forward progress to get a first down and a flag as well. Tim Jennings that time with the coverage on the play. Chris Chambers makes the tackle. Rivers this year has been great after he's been contacted as opposed to what he was last year.
I'll tell you who was great when they were blocking Freeney.
Defense number 23. Penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
And that was the thing that they have to do. If they're going to get it off, McNeil is going to have to get Freeney blocked. And he got right at the end there, just enough push to push Freeney beyond them so that Rivers could step up.
First down, 45-yard line. Play fake again. Rivers out of the pocket. And he'll throw that one intended for Sproles and incomplete. I just talked about the fact that Rivers last year when contacted was not very good. Look at that, 33 rating, 31st in the league. And this year the best in the league. So he more than triples his figure, 110 rating after he gets contacted by the defense, as was the case on that conversion.
One thing Norv Turner was talking about, that when he had to rehab his knee, he kind of rehabbed his whole body. And he was lifting weights, and he's gotten stronger. So plays like that don't knock him down. He's strong enough that you get a hand on him, and he can feel that and just step up a little and still make the play.
That's one of the things that Ben Roethlisberger does so brilliantly. Sproles now, and Sproles will come up a little short of the first down. Tackled there by Tim Jennings. Darren Sproles at 5'6", 181. Talked about it last week. When he was born, he was 10 pounds at birth, and so they nicknamed him Tank.
What's a tank here? When you can be Tank and have this kind of quickness, you're something. I mean, he can, give him a block, and he's going to take it inside or outside. Here, Antonio Gates gets a pretty good block. That's what you want to do. That end man, that guy that has to turn it back in. You want him knocked back off the line, and it makes running a heck of a lot easier.
Third down and a short 2. Blitz is on. Rivers steps up and then throws, and the pass is incomplete. Jennings again is in on the coverage. Intended for Chris Chambers, and it will be 4th down.
Norv Turner's gone to the glasses trying to come up with a play, and I think the first quarterback that opens up, and starts, getting in a flow and getting past protection thing is probably going to win this game. I think that so far the defenses, or the pressure of the defenses, have won the game.
I knew that.
Mike Cyphers with the longest postseason punt in 16 years, and he downed it inside the 5-yard line. It led to a touchdown, and this kick is fair caught at the 9-yard line. So Cyphers has been absolutely brilliant tonight. Ratliff with the fair catch, 38-yard, extremely effective boot. And Indianapolis will take over down by 4. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison will each go to the Hall of Fame someday. 112 touchdowns, an NFL record in the regular season, but in 14 postseason games, only 2 touchdowns. And tonight, Marvin, 1 catch, 8 yards. The Colts will start this drive at the 9. This is their 4th drive that started from the 10 or inside the 10. And speaking of Harrison, there he is making his 2nd catch of the night for a gain of close to 9 yards.
See, and that was just a slant, and then the next thing that'll be off of that will be a cross.
Second and a yard and a half from just outside the 18-yard line. Manning is 17 of 27 for 190 yards.
And he changes the play. He has to get it up and down the line.
Through the middle goes Adai. He slugs it out to the 23-yard line, and a first down for the Colts.
Here we see the play clock in there, and the defense wait until 10 seconds to get into what they're going to do. And I wonder if the Colts have figured that out, and maybe they're going to start, instead of taking the play clock down to 1 or 2, maybe they're going to start snapping it at around 10.
As Manning did on that last play. First down now, does here at 11 seconds. And Peyton's going to go deep, intended for Wayne, and the pass is incomplete. Antonio Cromartie, who intercepted Manning here in the regular season game last year 3 times. 3 of the 6 they had off of Peyton is stride for stride with Wayne.
Yeah, that's what the Chargers are doing more of now, is bringing the pressure. And you see Kaysen here coming from this right side. He was the 5th defensive back, the nickel corner, playing on the slot. So when you get that blitz, Peyton Manning knows one thing: I have man-to-man on Reggie Wayne, and I want to try and get him the ball deep. Good coverage by Cromartie.
2nd and 10. And this time you've got Giles Tucker coming across the line, and Ron Winter with the flag here.
Offside. Defense moving into the neutral zone. Cause the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You know, it happens. Those guys on the end of the line of scrimmage, they have to look to the inside. And you see he's looking right here, and he sees Saturday go down right there. When Saturday tipped down, that was his key that the ball was going to be snapped. And Saturday gave him a false start.
He did, and with the clock ticking down as well. So he tried to jump the gun, can't. Here's Manning hanging in the pocket, throwing, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Reggie Wayne. The coverage very good that time, again by the safety, Eric Weddle, 2nd year out of the University of Utah.
You know, that's one thing that I noticed about this Charger defense, especially the secondary. They are contesting passes now.
Now they snap it quickly, they catch him, and this is Reggie Wayne, who gets out in front, inside the 10 and all the way for the touchdown. So you saw Manning say, get up, let's snap it quickly, and Reggie Wayne has just gone 62 yards. Gets by Antonio Cromartie, and on a 3rd down and 5, it's a touchdown.
Well, you know when it all started is the Chargers tried to substitute. And anytime you try and substitute in the Colts, they're going to snap it quickly to catch you off balance, either to get 12 men on the field or to get a big play like this to Reggie Wayne. Look at Cromartie. He wasn't even looking. He was kind of standing there. He was in that disguise mode, and he sure as heck wasn't in any cover mode.
Not at all, as Vinatieri will tack on the extra point. 91 yards, 5 plays. And the kick is good with 8:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Indianapolis Colts retake the lead in San Diego, 17-14. Next week, all your favorite NBC shows, all new all week. The premieres of Superstars of Dance, The Biggest Loser, and How We Do It, starting tomorrow night right here on NBC. Peyton Manning catching the Charger defense napping, trying to substitute. Reggie Wayne getting behind Cromartie, who wasn't even looking at anything except the bench as the ball was released. And it's 17-14, and that's followed by a Vinatieri touchback. And we go back to the touchdown, John.
Well, that's kind of the rules of the no huddle, and Peyton Manning, that as long as you don't substitute, he'll take his time. But when you try and substitute, he is going to want the ball quickly. He wants the ball snapped. Now, I watch him ask for the ball. Now watch Cromartie here. He's in coverage. He's looking at the sidelines. He's not even looking at Reggie Wayne. So the Chargers should know that when you substitute, they're going to quick snap you.
And Ron Rivera, the defensive coordinator, he'll see Reggie Wayne in his sleep. He was the defensive coordinator of the Bears when Wayne got free on a busted coverage in the Indianapolis-Chicago Super Bowl 2 years ago.
The only thing he could be arguing about is if the Colts substituted, they have to give you time to substitute.
Now Rivers on first down, steps up, and the catch is made here by Hester. Jacob Hester, who is taken over as the starting fullback. Tywan Hagler making the stop. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
But you know, that's one of the advantages of the no huddle, that you can kind of snap the ball when you want it to. And earlier it was snap it late, you know, take it down to 2 seconds, and then they made an adjustment at halftime. Now they take it earlier. Okay, now if they try and substitute, let's catch them right now with a quick snap.
Halfway through the quarter, Sproles tries to get to the outside, and he's taken down by Kelvin Hayden. There's some question whether Hayden would even be playing after he was hurt in the first half. He came back at the end of the half, makes the tackle here. We have not seen LaDainian Tomlinson at all in the second half. LT had 5 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
I think this is one of the things that Sproles has so much life in him that you would say, I would rather go with a healthy, spry Sproles than I would rather go with a half-speed LaDainian Tomlinson.
3rd and 6. Montemali sets up in the backfield with Sproles. The fake to Darren Sproles. And now Rivers has to buy time. Rivers against the grain, finds the open man out of the 48-yard line, and that's Chris Chambers. So Chambers gets free. Jennings makes the tackle, and a big 3rd and 6 conversion at 25 yards.
You know, here's where Phillip Rivers is so good in the pocket. He can't run a lick, we know that, but he does move enough just to keep a play alive. And as he's moving, he keeps looking upfield, and he keeps everything alive. And his receivers know that now, that, you know, if he starts to move, if he's buying time, then you go deeper because he'll still get you the ball.
Chargers have Kasim Osgood in. He's, of course, their special teams stalwart.
I was just going to say, if he's in there for a blocker.
And they're trying to block here, but won't have the opportunity because Darren Sproles gets stopped as he crosses the line of scrimmage, just shy of the 50-yard line.
Kasim Osgood is one of those great special teams players, real tough guy, and they don't put him in as a receiver. If they do put him in, I think it's just to give a guy a breather and use him as a blocker.
Yeah, they're minus one of their better wideouts. Malcolm Floyd, who suffered a collapsed lung in Kansas City toward the end of the season, has been practicing but can't make it again tonight. Inactive. 2nd down and 9 at the 50-yard line. Sproles. And Sproles picks up the first down and then slips as he crosses the 40-yard line. He got in behind Chris Dealman. Dealman will go to the Pro Bowl with blocks like that. First down to the 38-yard line.
And Jacob Hester gets enough of a lead there, and as you say, Chris Dealman, the left guard, is going to pull right there. So he gets a lead right there, the pull right there. He gets in behind it, stays small, and then just makes his move. Pretty good block by Hester, real good block by Chris Dealman.
Now Michael Bennett comes into the game again with LT on the bench, Sproles on the bench. Here's Bennett, who went to the Pro Bowl as a Viking in 02. And Rivers will throw it away. So LT, we haven't seen him since about 10.5 minutes remained in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, he was okay to get dressed, and he was okay maybe to start, but he wasn't okay to be LT and give him, you know, 20, 25 carries in this game.
Tomlinson, of course, you remember last year we chronicled that in postseason. Same situation in effect tonight. And now you've got Michael Bennett, and he makes his Charger debut by picking up a first down at the 25-yard line. Bennett with Minnesota, as we mentioned, went to the Pro Bowl in 02. He was their feature back. Most recently with Tampa Bay earlier this season, played sparingly. They let him go. The Chargers picked him up as insurance, and he just pays a premium.
I was watching him practice on Thursday, and they gave him quite a few plays, and And I talked to Philip Rivers about it after the practice, and he said yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, he said was the first time that I ever handed the ball off to him. He said, but I think he may help us in this game.
It was theorized when they picked him up that one of the reasons they picked him up is to keep him away from the Broncos with all of their injuries at running back. Now Rivers. Secondary does its job, and Rivers just has to dump it. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 with 3:46 remaining in the third.
Yeah, I think he's more effective when he can just move in the pocket and keep the play alive. This is good coverage here. This is what he's looking at. That's the offside. Now, he had to run out here to the right. So the only thing he can see is anything that would be off here to his right. See, when he starts moving here, he has to look there. So he can see his back running out of bounds, and he can see someone deep who is covered. He can't see anything on that backside.
2nd down and 10 from the 24-yard line. Let's spin around by Rivers, and he gets Legadou Nane at the 10-yard line for a 1st down.
Where in the heck did that come from? Norv Turner's pulling out everything. You know, and that's something even LT smiles at that one. That's kind of a, what do you call it, a pirouette?
Yep.
I mean, it's just a quick reverse pivot is what it is, and then throw a slant. You usually open up to the side you're going to throw the slant to. And this one, he opened up the opposite side, reverse pivot, and then come back out and hit his slant and nail a little later.
1st and goal from the 9. Sproles will get knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Clint Session makes the stop. The Colts this season allowed in 16 games 6 touchdown passes, the fewest in the NFL since the '73 Dolphins, and the '73 Dolphins won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because they really, you know, they can pressure here, so you better keep guys in, you know, to get Dwight Freeney and Mathis blocked. And if you do that, then they can double everyone in or around the end zone. So it all starts with their pass rush.
2 of those 6 touchdowns that the Colts defense yielded, touchdown passes were thrown by Rivers. Here's Sproles looking for a block. Inside the 5 and slithers his way to the 1-yard line, and then the ball rolls to the back of the end zone, but I think they're going to rule it dead at the 1-yard line. And that is the call along the sideline as Sproles goes down. Ron Winter goes over to check it with his associate. Here's a look.
Aaron Sproles is a great screen runner, and you see as he starts to go down, the ball comes out.
Fumble at the 2-yard line, recovered by the defense in the end zone. Therefore, it is a touchback. 1st down.
They're going to rule it a fumble recovered by Brock in the end zone for a touchback. Will Turner challenge is the question. Apparently there will be no challenge. Norv Turner's had enough time. They looked at it. We did too. We don't think it would have been overturned. It was a fumble because the ball came loose before Sproles was down, and it was recovered by Raheem Brock in the end zone for a touchback.
It was a great play by Tim Jennings, the corner who stripped it.
Go back and look at it in a second. 1st down now from the 20-yard line, and the pass is caught by Clark. Gain of 4 up to the 24. Here's the play now.
See, there's Tim Jennings right there. See, he has his left hand in there, just strips the ball out of Sproles' hand. The ball is coming out before any part of his, other than his hand, hits the ground. And then it couldn't get out of the end zone. Then Raheem Brock gets it before it goes out of the end zone.
2nd down and 6 from the 24-yard line. A minute and a half to go in the third. Manning steps away from the pressure, and the pass is almost intercepted by Cromartie after the deflection. This wild card playoff game brought to you by Hyundai Assurance. We're all in this together. We'll get through it together. By Vizio, America's HDTV company. To learn more, log on to Vizio.com, and by Chili's, pepper in some fun. 3rd and 6 on the 24-yard line. Manning loves to find Gonzalez on third down plays. He's caught overall 6 passes tonight. He was his main man on third down in the regular season. Gonzalez comes out of the slot. Manning this time will go to the right side, and that pass is almost intercepted. That was Steve Gregory with the deflection, so it is a 3 and out for the San Diego defense.
Yeah, Gregory has kind of replaced Clinton Hart in this pass defense. He's on the right side there, and you just see him just reading Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning makes a throw. He's sitting back there in a 2 deep. He makes a throw, gets a jump on it right there, and as you say, Al, he almost intercepted it.
And the Chargers were last in the league in getting 3 and outs defensively. Meanwhile, as we said before, Indianapolis led the league in third down conversions.
After that fumble, that was a big third down.
Hunter Smith's punt fielded at the 16-yard line. Great punt. Sproles, good return. Up past the 40 to the 45-yard line, where he gets taken down there by Philip Wheeler. A 58-yard boot. Final minute of the play in the third. February 1st, Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, performing at halftime of Super Bowl 43. That's February 1st, and you'll see it right here on NBC. Vincent Jackson has not caught a pass tonight. He's at 90 yards or better in each of his last 3 postseason games. But a goose egg to this point. 44-yard line, 58 ticks left in the third. Antonio Gates lines up in the backfield as the blocking back for Sproles, and he cuts inside of Gates and takes it to the 47-yard line for a gain of 9 yards.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was talking to Darren Sproles last week, and he said, I think I can be an every down back, and he's going to prove it. Now here's the thing that you worry about when you cut back. You worry about Bob Sanders right there. Bob Sanders said last night, he said, I'm the smallest guy in the field, and I said, no, I don't think you are the smallest guy. He just met the smallest guy in the field right there.
Sanders 5'8". Sproles at 5'6".
Well, you never think of Bob Sanders as small.
No. Sproles will take the ball inside the 40-yard line. He just keeps on going. I love the way they say running backs, you try to get small, he doesn't have to try. First down to end the third quarter, end of 3 in this wild card game. Indianapolis 17, San Diego 14. And this wild card game from Southern California continues after these messages from your NBC station. Aerial coverage tonight brought to you by Duracell from San Diego. We start the fourth quarter at Qualcomm Stadium. Al Michaels, John Madden, and Andrea Kramer. 3-point game. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Michael Bennett, the running back here, making his Charger debut. And Rivers is going to go down at the 50-yard line for an 8-yard sack, as Dwight Freeney is the first guy to get there, and that's Freeney's 2nd sack of the night.
Yeah, it's an all-day job when you have Dwight Freeney over there, and the Chargers are trying to do something. You see, they have the tight end on him, so that widens them out. So then McNeil has to jump out here. Then he comes and he spins to the inside. You see, but all the tight end it doesn't help him. It just widens him out. And then when McNeil jumps out, Freeney feels that and starts his spin, and then he's inside right on Phillip Rivers.
That patent move back. Freeney came this year from foot surgery, hurt himself here in the regular season game last year. Now this is Bennett. He's going to try to cut it back inside. And Bennett will fight his way to the 44-yard line, setting up a 3rd and long.
That's an old Norv Turner thing, that after a guy gets you on a sack or gives you a big pass rush, run a draw right at him. You see, when Freeney runs up the field like that, he gives you this 5-hole draw. But again, Bennett doesn't get to it quickly enough, or the Colt defense is so quick and so fast and tackles so well that they can still make the play.
Sproles comes back in 3rd down and 13. Rivers out of the shotgun. Phillips steps up. He's going to run. Points out where he wants the block to go, and that's about as good as you can expect from Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers takes it to the 33-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down and 1, and he has Sproles out in front of him.
I'll tell you, that was making something out of nothing, because, you know, as I said earlier and even last week, Philip Rivers cannot run a lick. He gets a block there, but then he stays in bounds and keeps fighting to get that ball up to the 1st down marker. Look at who he points to block is Sproles. Tries to stay in bounds, and he knows exactly where it has to go for a 1st down.
4th and 1, but the Chargers, the play clock is all the way down to 2 to 1. He tries to sneak it for a 1st down. The Chargers late in getting out there. Does he have it? The yellow line, of course, is unofficial. Naturally, the Colts are going to point in the other direction. They spot the ball. Well,
that's the key, where they spotted it.
They spotted it right again. They have to bring the chains out, but they just did get the playoff.
I think it was one of those things, you know, that happened to them last time they played, is they didn't get exactly what they needed for the 1st down, so then they had to take a timeout. Just looking at that, I mean, it looks like he does have enough forward momentum there for the 1st down. And then he was knocked back. So it's just getting the ball over that line of scrimmage. That much is all you need.
Wow, that's it, all you need.
Philip Rivers, 2 great plays in a row. I mean, you always think your quarterback is going to make some great pass, but when Philip Rivers makes 2 runs, especially that first one, to get it in position that you can go for the quarterback sneak on 4th down.
That is stop the presses stuff.
But look at this effort. I mean, you know, most quarterbacks are looking for that sideline, get out of bounds and everything. He's looking for that 1st down marker to get the ball out there. Now, this is playoff football.
Rivers is tough as they come. Played in the AFC Championship game with a torn ACL that was surgically repaired in the offseason. Then he goes deep for the end zone and has the pass intercepted by Antoine Bethea. And Bethea will run it out of the end zone. There's a flag that's thrown at the 36-yard line. And who knows where this play will end or wind up. It'll stop right now as you have Bethea in the end zone on a pass intended for Chris Chambers that was overthrown.
And they just had, and that's, you know, that's again a Norv Turner thing. When you change momentum, when you get a big play, when something like take a shot, and here he's going to take the shot, and you can see it against his zone. It's against cover 2. He has a corner there, and the safety just sitting over the top.
Personal foul, block below the waist, number 99 of the return team. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Antonio Johnson with the penalty, but Indianapolis has the ball as they thwart the Chargers again. "29 days to the Super Bowl. 12 teams in the playoffs. Arizona, we know, will be moving on. Atlanta will not. And it will all culminate on the 1st day of February. Super Bowl 43, Tampa, Florida, right here on NBC. 2 vital turnovers. Chargers on their last 2 possessions. Now the Colts will start this drive from the 21-yard line. They've got Clark lined up in the backfield with the dive. Manning throws. It's caught by Clark, who comes out of the backfield. A flag is down, and at the 45-yard line, he's taken out of bounds. But a penalty marker is thrown, and Ron Winter will so signal this one against Indianapolis.
Tripping. Offense number 63. A 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
The center, Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, that's when you can't get your body or your shoulders in position, you trip. Here's Saturday right here. Sean Phillips is coming to the inside. Oh, that's why he couldn't get his body in, because he fell down. Jeff Saturday falls down, so he sees Phillips coming. He's going to get to Peyton Manning. The only thing that he can do is trip him.
Colts from the 11. It's 1st down and 20. Rush 4. Clark again. And Clark gets taken down by Stephen Cooper. Just short or on the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 16.
And the Chargers defense gets the Colts back up, and they're going to bring the pressure. They came from their left side, the Colts' right side, and that's the side that he threw to Clark. Well, you can't do any one thing to the Colts or Peyton Manning. You need mixture, and you have to disguise everything.
Ron Rivera's defense has done a lot of good things tonight, and one terrible thing that's the difference in the game. And Manning throws, and that is caught very close to a first down by Reggie Wayne. And Wayne is down at the 31-yard line, and that will be a first down.
You see where Reggie Wayne goes after he catches the ball, just walks outside the numbers. He said that's what I love about this no huddle is you can stay outside. You said you catch a ball, you just stay right there where you caught it. You see his fingers last night?
Oh, yeah. Gnarled.
Yeah, he's had 7 dislocated fingers. I mean, he has gloves on him here, but those are 10 ugly things.
Got married last spring. His wife had to buy him one of those things that, open up in the middle.
Right. Couldn't get the ring over his knuckle.
A dive. Gain of 4. Up to the 35-yard line as we tick down to 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
It's one of these games that it's going to come down to the fourth quarter and probably the last possession or two. And this is what the no huddle is so good for, is when you have to play hurry up, you're all ready. That's what you do. That's what you're used to. Although the Colts don't have to play hurry up right now, obviously.
2nd down and 6. Manning will throw this one on the outside again, and it is Dwight Clark, and they will spot the ball just past the 42-yard line, and that is a first down.
Then you feel that Dallas Clark is his guy now, that anytime he needs a play, he's going to put Dallas Clark in a position that he can work him to get the ball to him.
That's 7 catches for him. He caught 26 passes over the last 3 games of the season. He didn't even play that much in the last game last week against Tennessee because it didn't mean anything.
Usually a security guy for a quarterback will be a guy that can work the inside.
Now this is a dive. Or Dominic Rhodes again that time gets stood up by Matt Wilhelm up to the 48-yard line. Rhodes, who had a big Super Bowl performance for Indianapolis against Chicago a couple of years ago. Then they let him go to Oakland. Then he came back this year. Second and 5. The guy on the sideline. Rhodes flanks Manning. 3 down linemen, 4-man rush, and that's caught short of the first down. It goes to Marvin Harrison. Gets taken back by Eric Weddle, and a very big 3rd and 2 coming up.
Eric Weddle has had a big game in tackling. Anytime that they catch the ball in there, they catch it in front of you, that's okay, but tackle like that. And if they catch it right there, boom, stop them right where they catch it. The thing that you can't do is give them a lot of run after the catch. This is where the Colts like to run pick plays, but the Chargers aren't giving them alignment. Here they have one corner off. They don't have them both up.
Instead they'll go with Rhodes, and Rhodes will, with a shoulder lean, pick up enough for the first down. So they go to the left side. They run Rhodes, and they move the chains.
And I think that was one of the things that they caught him, worrying about the pass. They were going to give him a pass rush. You see the end getting up the field, just like Freeney did, and they just run inside him. You see that big hole they give him right there? Chargers expecting pass, playing pass, could not handle the run.
1st and 10. Already a clock-eating drive. They've had the ball for 5 minutes. 7:11 remaining in the 4th. Manning fires over the middle, and that one is not picked off. It is incomplete. Kaysen almost came up with it. It was Anthony Gonzalez who was the intended receiver, and it was dropped by him to the ground.
Well, did you see the way that ball came out of there, though? I mean, it looked like he threw a slider. I mean, that thing was moving right and left, and it wasn't tipped or anything. When I saw it come out, I thought, gee, someone tipped that ball, but it was just a funny spin on it.
Kept it spiral. 2nd and 10. Adai comes back into the game. Roy Hall is also in the game, 83. He'll come out of the slot. Manning gets flushed out, and Manning will just have to heave it into the bench, and there's a flag at the 42-yard line.
Well, that's what the Chargers have done well a number of times tonight. Peyton Manning, get him off his spot.
Offense number 67. A 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
You know, and as long as he can stay in the pocket and move around in the pocket, he's the best. If you can get him off that spot in the pocket, get him going right or left, no one is as effective, but he's not nearly as effective.
2nd and 20 from the 44-yard line. And this is Adai going nowhere. So you're going to have a 3rd down and 21.
Yeah, that was one of those things that the Chargers had 2 deep safeties, and the Peyton Manning, that has always said 2 deep safeties means 7-man front. 7-man front means run. And he said he's trying to get away from that and just let the play call stay, but I think that's what the Chargers are doing. They're playing the 2 safeties deep and inviting him to either throw short or run the ball.
3rd and 21. Manning. Flag is thrown, and the pass is incomplete. So the Charger defense, as they've done for most of the night.
Great defense for the Chargers.
Comes up big.
Offense number 71. Penalties decline. It's a 4th down.
Ryan Dean, this coming after the Colts had the ball for 5 minutes.
We're talking about moving Peyton Manning off his spot. Here's a spot right here. There he's moved off the spot. Now he becomes mediocre. There's nothing to throw to. See here, he'll eat you up in there. You get him out here, and there's not much to do.
Hunter Smith to punt. Darren Sproles is back to return it. High floating kick, short kick. That takes a sideways bounce and goes out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. So you have 5:58 left in the 4th in this wild card playoff game. Colts by 3. Monday night, Jay Leno on the Tonight Show coming up this week. Terry Bradshaw will be kicking off the week. Dustin Hoffman, Daniel Craig, and others this week on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. So the San Diego Chargers now, Tomlinson has not played since early in the 2nd quarter. Start this drive from the 29-yard line. Rivers with the pump fake and then has to dump it off underneath. And this is Sproles, and Sproles out to the 46-yard line for a 1st down. Tackled there by Clint Session, a gain of 17.
You know, and here's where it's going to be pass protection and pass rush. And here's the guy you got to get blocked right here, Dwight Freeney. As long as he stays outside, McNeil is okay. He can push him right by and get a little help from his guard, Chris Nealman. Where they're having trouble is when Freeney starts up the field and then comes inside with that spin move.
Now Sproles will try to cut it back inside. Up to the 49-yard line he goes. Tywan Hagler makes the tackle, and we tick down to the 5-minute mark.
You know, I kind of felt before this game that all the pregame talk is going to be about LT and Tomlinson and playing and groin and all that stuff, but the game is going to be about Darren Sproles, and that's the way it's turning out. I mean, you know, all that thing, can he play? It doesn't make any difference. Can he play? Can he play the whole game?
Yep.
Can he be effective? And can he finish? And he couldn't.
16 carries, 4 receptions, running back kicks and punts, but right now the fumble, one of the big plays in the game. Rivers will buy time, rolling left, looking downfield, throws and is lucky that one wasn't intercepted. There were 3 Colts around there. Tim Jennings with the tip, and Rivers got away with one. 3rd and 7.
And sometimes keeping the play alive is you just have too much confidence. Here's Dwight Freeney there. He's getting the pressure on him. Now he can move there and reset and throw. And that's what he tries to do, but he just forced it into double coverage.
Trying to go to Vincent Jackson, who still hasn't caught one.
I know, and you'd like to get it to Vincent Jackson, but in this situation, you can't force it to him or anyone.
3rd down and 7. Michael Bennett's the running back. Rivers dumps it off, and that is Bennett, and Bennett will lunge for, let's see, does he get the first or not? Again, the yellow line is unofficial. The ball is at the 44-yard line. Ron Winter says stop the clock. I'm bringing in the change from the near side.
When you were looking at the line from here, it looked like he was over, and then that official kind of brought it back, and now it's very, very questionable. Look at the way he holds the ball there at the end. It's where his knee goes down,
right
where
there.
the ball is, where his knee goes down.
Right.
And it is just short, isn't it?
It appears to be. I don't know that Turner could challenge this spot. It looks like it's going to be a little short. Now you got to make the decision, or is it?
Oh, my.
First down. All it has to do is nudge up against the stick. Wow.
Norv takes a deep breath on that one.
I'll say.
I mean, he probably would have got it on a quarterback sneak, but you don't want to prove that you can.
No.
That was a heck of an end there by Michael Bennett. Yeah, watch how he protects it, because one thing about him, he's a pretty good runner, but he does have a tendency to fumble.
Bennett and Hester are the running backs right now. Sproles gets a breather. 4 minutes. Gain of 1. Bennett again.
You know, one thing that the Chargers have to be thinking here is you want to score, but you don't want to score too quickly. So you have to have patience. I mean, this isn't one of those things when you get to the 45-yard line that you have to take a shot at the end zone. I think you can methodically work the ball down the field.
They know that better than anybody. They left enough time for Manning in November, and he won the game. 2nd down and 10. That spin around move by Rivers. Rivers is going to go deep. Rivers for Nane, and it's incomplete. The ball floating. Nane for a moment got behind the defender, but the pass is incomplete, and it's 3rd down and 10. Kelvin Hayden was there.
Yeah, when he threw that, when he made that spin move, he was trying to throw a slant out to the left. He was trying to go to the other side. And then you see Nane was just running a short out, and when he sees the scramble, he turns up. But that Bethea's been there all night over the top. I mean, they're not going to get anything deep because Bethea is going to keep everything in front of him, and when you do throw deep, he is going to be over the top any of your deep receivers. He has been all night.
And Ratliff the corner on the play. And the Chargers right now are going to call a timeout. Their first before a 3rd and 10. The bookends. Freeney 2 sacks, Mathis 1. They'll try to put the pressure on. This is a very big and critical situation, because what do you do if you don't make it? Do you go for it? The 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left. Is this 4-down territory? It's 3rd and 10.
Bob Sanders is up, so they got 3 deep. Up.
And Rivers is going to go down, and that pressure came from the outside again, and Mathis gets the sack, a gigantic sack. That's his 2nd.
You know, we always talk about pass protection and pass rush. This is when you need it, right here. This is a play right here. You know, is your pass protection going to handle their pass rush? The answer is no. Colts win. Colts win that battle I'm talking about.
Like Norv Turner saying the other day, it's going to depend on our offensive tackles, and that right now a critical sack as Cyphers punt. Look at this. Again, he does it again. At the 2-yard line, Mike Cyphers with 2:41. The Colts used to starting in this position. They started drives at the 10, 3, 7, 9, and now 1-yard line. Adai is the running back. Again, the Chargers 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 from the 1. Adai. And that's a pretty good run. That's a real good run under the circumstances. It forces San Diego to take a timeout. They take it right here, but that's a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down and 4. This wild card playoff game being brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Toyota and the line of scrimmage. And by McDonald's.
You know, coming out there, the Colts did a good job there of double teaming Jamal Williams, because we know how big a presence Jamal Williams is when you're on the goal line going in. Well, it's the equal presence right there. And they get Jeff Saturday on him, then they bring the guard down on him, and that just gives them enough push that Adai can get through there. I mean, if they were to single right here, they wouldn't have had a chance. But when they got that double, that got him turned and going back and created the hole.
2nd and 4 from the 7. Adai. And Jamal Williams is there in the timeout. A timeout again taken by San Diego. So that's their final. Clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. And upcoming will be a gigantic 3rd and 2.
Yeah, the Chargers were very stout on that run. I think the first down, they played it, and the Colts had a good plan. 2nd down, they played run real hard. Olshansky got some penetration over there. And again, Jamal Williams played like Jamal Williams. Now this is a passing down. I mean, this is where the Colts will usually use that crossing thing or some kind of pick. Any 3rd and 2 or 3 is when they like to run those patterns. Starts with a slant, then could be a cross, and if you have 2 corners up on the same side, could be a pick.
70,000 hearts beating pretty furiously right now. 3rd and 2 for the Colts at the 9-yard line. And they split Adai out. He's to the left. Manning looks there. Manning's going to get sacked at the 1-yard line. Tim Dobbins is there. Dobbins comes up with a football.
Big defense there. And you talk about putting pressure on. I'm surprised the Colts went empty. When there's no backs here, they know that it's going to be a pass, and they just came with the pass rush. They brought the blitz. They brought Dobbins from the backside. I don't think Peyton Manning saw him.
He didn't. He held on. Dobbins came away with it, but after the whistle, this is going to set Smith up in the back of the end zone as we come to the 2-minute warning. Oh, what an ending this is going to be. What a rivalry this has turned out to be. The Colts and the Chargers. Boy, the wheels are spinning right now. You know, if the Colts either take a safety or if the Chargers were to block a punt for 2 points, it would set up a free kick from the 20-yard line here. You've got Hunter Smith standing at the back line of the end zone. You got Sproles ready to return it at the 50-yard line. You got Smith, who will accept the snap from Justin Snow. And he'll get it away. And it's a very good kick, very good. Sproles from the 38-yard line into Colts territory, inside the 40. He takes the ball to the 38-yard line. Roy Hall makes the tackle there. And now Philip Rivers will go to work from the 38-yard line of the Colts.
Yeah, when I was talking to Philip Rivers the other day, he was talking about how much calmer he is now, and he doesn't get excited and antsy like he used to. And this is when he has to be calm. This is when he has to be patient. This is when he has to not force anything, not do anything stupid.
That was a 63-yard beauty by Smith and a 26-yard return.
Remember, the Chargers don't have any timeouts.
From the 38-yard line. Rivers. Going toward the line of scrimmage and incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Try to get Sproles on a screen.
Yeah, he was trying to, and that's the way you throw a screen away. They let you legally do that. You see, Sproles is right here. Mathis is going to make a good play by grabbing him there. He grabs Sproles, so Philip Rivers has no one to throw to. Watch Mathis right here. He grabs Sproles there. He reads it screen, so he just knocks him down.
Nate Peyton, the field goal kicker, his career-long 57 yards at Tampa 2 weeks ago.
It's all about pass protection.
From the 38, over the middle. That is caught. This is Gates. Gates got off to a hot start tonight. He's been silent for the last couple of quarters, but picks up a big first down here at the 37-yard line. LT can only spectate. Right
you
now,
knew it was going to come down to this, right to the end.
Colts and the Chargers, they have played some beauties in the last 4 years. Rivers throws. That's caught. That'll be a first down. That's Gates again. To the 21-yard line. Rivers is going to spike it here. Already in field goal range. Rivers, no timeouts, indicating he's going to spike it. And does with 53 seconds remaining. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Kading in postseason under 45 for 5. But when you get him from 40 plus, 1 of 5.
You know, we talked about those 2 tackles and pass protection, and on the previous possession, the 2 offensive tackles lost. On this one, they won. I mean, you have to give them credit on those 2 passes. We know about Philip Rivers. We know about Gates getting open, catching all that. But doggone, he had time. These 2 tackles got their job done when they had to.
2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line. The line does its job again. Rivers running out of time, running out of room, and the pass is incomplete with 46 seconds.
You know, again, Rivers is smart here. When he gets out of the pocket here and he starts out, now he knows once he's past the tackle, if he doesn't have someone wide open, just throw it away.
The other thing that's going to happen here too, John, if they go for the end zone and it's incomplete and Kading kicks a field goal, you're going to still leave Manning with enough time. And the Chargers know that all too well.
Right, and they know what can happen when you do that.
Yeah, they found out 6 weeks ago. Instead, they'll keep it on the ground. They give it to Sproles. Oh, and he takes it to the 6-yard line. So now you've got a 4th and 1, and you're compelled here to go with Kading. It's 4th and 1. Tony Dungy's going to, he says, come on, I'm calling a timeout. I need the time. And Tony's saying, you didn't see me.
Mike Goff, the right guard of the Chargers, made a good block on that play. He's made a number of good blocks, pulling from his right to the left. Watch him, here he is right here. I think these Charger guards have played well tonight and leading and making plays like that for Darren Sproles.
Dungy's trying to call a timeout, trying to get somebody's attention.
I don't know why he can't get the attention of his own players. It used to be that players would call timeout, then they let the coaches call timeout, but players can still call timeout. Why didn't he just yell to his players, call timeout? Why don't they see it?
Nate Kading 0 for 2 on lead-changing field goals in the last 2 minutes or overtime in postseason, but this is really a chip shot for one of the better kickers in the league, despite the negative information we've been feeding you here over the last couple of minutes. The ball will be spotted at the 16. This is a 26-yard attempt. Manning putting the helmet on. The Colts have 2 timeouts when they get the ball back. Cyphers to hold it. David Ben to snap it. And that kick is good. Nate Kading bangs it through to tie the game at 17. But 31 seconds remaining for Peyton Manning and the Colts. Two completions to Gates on that drive. You had 5 passes, 1 rush. Gates, and then with Sproles taking the ball just short of the first down.
And I still say that it was about pass protection.
Yep. Cypher's able to put it down. Of course, if Sproles had gained that extra yard, then you spike it, then you go for the win. You don't get it into the end zone, but, you know, if. It's been the story of the Indianapolis and San Diego series in the last 4 years.
Right, and now we know that once we're in playoffs, we have true sudden death overtime. This isn't just 1 quarter.
Right. Can play till Tuesday morning if need be. Nate Kading to kick off. Chad Simpson to run it back. The clock starts when Simpson touches the ball. Now, from the 5-yard line, Simpson gets taken down. Good coverage by the Chargers. 18-yard line, 24 seconds for the Colts. Kind of in a little bit of no man's land here with 24 seconds.
Right, and it's the type of thing I think you try and get a first down. If you get a first down, then you maybe go for 1 more first down. Then if you get that, then you go for the win. If you don't, if on this possession, if you don't come close to getting a first down, then I think you just run out the clock.
Right. They'd need to gain about 40 yards to give Vinatieri a shot at a field goal. Inside play fake. Throw it over the middle to Adai. And Adai is going to take us to the 25. And that is going to set up a timeout here by Indianapolis. But I started to say, going to set up the next drama in the game, which is going to be heads or tails. And meanwhile, you've got Giles Tucker, who goes down, the outside linebacker. Key plays in this half, and this was gigantic because that San Diego defense has been, for the most part, magnificent tonight, but they fell asleep here. Manning saw it. Wayne sprints down the numbers. Cromartie asleep on the play for a touchdown. This was Sproles inside the 10, inside the 5. Would have been a 1st and goal. Instead, he fumbled, recovered by Brock. Then you had Rivers running on 3rd and 4th down to pick up a first down, but then throwing an interception. And Tucker is down still on the turf for San Diego. They put 3 more seconds on the clock.
See, there was Giles Tucker right there. He came in and made that hit. I'll tell you, the Charger defense, I think, has been outstanding. I mean, they had that one thing that we just showed where they kind of fell asleep on a substitution thing and a quick snap. But, I mean, they've really played well. They kept most things in front of them. Made Peyton Manning go for the short stuff. Tackled very, very well.
And no punter could have ever had a better postseason game than Mike Cyphers has had tonight.
I mean, he put that defense in pretty good position tonight.
So Tucker will walk off the field. Antoine Applewhite will come in for him. Colts have 1 timeout, 2nd down and 4 from the 25-yard line.
Applewhite plays quite a bit. I mean, he kind of rotates with Tucker in there and the inside linebackers, and they use him as a rover type guy and a pass rusher and a drop guy, and he's really pretty good at both. And now all they're thinking about is drop. I mean, they're just going to drop. They're going to have 2 deep. They're going to keep all the receivers in front of them.
A couple of sacks tonight for Freeney. Will his defense have to come back on the field? That's going to be the question if we go to overtime. It's a funny thing, we talked about, you know, the coin flip situation with Tony Dungy last night, who had been on the competition committee. We said, hey, would you like to see that rule changed? Refs are conferring about something. We'll try to get it for you in a second.
Player, San Diego is charged with their 4th team timeout. Please restore the team timeout charge to Indianapolis. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
So Indianapolis, instead of taking that timeout because of the injury, they get charged, and they were out of timeouts. They couldn't take a timeout or be charged with one. They were out of them. So you put another timeout back on the Indianapolis ledger. Get to Dungy's thought about the coin flip in a second. It's 2nd down and 4 from the 25. Manning going to the outside. That's a dive, and a guy will not get out of bounds. He's up to the 31-yard line, and the Colts will spend a timeout here. So anyway, we're talking to Dungy about it last night about, hey, how do you feel about, especially in postseason, would you like to see the rule change where you had each team have the opportunity? He said no, he likes it the way it is. We'll find out in a couple of minutes if he still is going to like it the way it is.
I would say the same thing. I like the rules the way they are, and I don't think that we have to go to any college rules where you know both teams get a possession, and you know what the rule is. And like Tony said, if you lose the flip, then your defense has to do it. I mean, it's not like you lose the flip and then you don't get to play defense. Go out and play defense and get the ball back. And I agree with that totally.
That's why the rules haven't been changed. I think most of the guys who have been in the past and are right now in the competition committee feel the same way. Sean Phillips just walked off the field, so you've got Tucker and Phillips, who've both come out of the game in the last 2 plays.
Right, both their outside linebackers.
So the ball at the 32-yard line. If Manning wants to go deep, maybe get a pass interference call deep enough to set up Vinatieri, we'll see. And that's what he will try to do. He will go deep, and only blue shirts are there, and the pass is incomplete. And you're still going to have 1 second remaining in regulation.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, the only blue shirts being there. They're not going to let them catch anything in front of them. They're going to run as deep as they have to keep all white wide receiver jerseys in front of them.
Phillips came back in. Tucker went back onto the field for a minute, but now he's come back out, so he'll be ready to go if they have to go on defense in overtime.
They probably put Sean Phillips back in there and say, just give me one more pass rush, and it looks like the Colts are going to kneel down. You don't need a pass rush.
They will with 1 second. Heads or tails. Meanwhile, the rules for overtime and postseason different because you play until there is a resolution period. First team to score wins. You have 15-minute periods. This is like you're starting a complete new game. Each team with 3 timeouts per half, as it is during a regular game. But the only difference is no challenges. All reviews in overtime now come from the booth. So you would have a first quarter. You would change ends of the field. You'd have a second quarter. You would, in theory, have a halftime. Who knows if you have the marching bands or not, and we will just play until there's a winner.
Now, this is one that maybe the players aren't all sure of these rules. You try and go over everything in playoffs and everything that's different, and, their pay and how much they get for playing these games and what the rules are and what it means, and the winners goes on, losers goes home, and so on. And maybe you don't mention the rules of overtime.
Overtime in a playoff situation is the starting of a new game. Each team will be allowed 3 timeouts. If there is no score in the first quarter, we'll begin the second quarter after a 2-minute intermission. All replays will be handled by the replay booth. Indianapolis, it's your choice. We called heads. It is a tails.
So it's the San Diego offense and the Indianapolis defense when we come back. overtime in the playoffs. Back after these messages from your NBC station. High drama in San Diego. 25th overtime game in the history of the NFL. The first was 50 years ago. The giant Colt game at Yankee Stadium. Home teams 12-12. First to score wins. Colt offense has to bide its time as San Diego will get the ball. Sproles standing on the goal line, ready to receive the Adam Vinatieri. And here we go. Good kick. Sproles is going to run it out from 5 yards in. Out past the 50, the 20, and taken down to the 25-yard line. The tackle made by Kewan Ratliff.
Now here's the time, you know, I was talking about Phillip Rivers, and I thought he was great on that last drive, being calm, staying calm, and sometimes you get into overtime and you're trying to hurry up too much. I mean, now, you know, like the referee Ron Winter said, this is the start of a new game. We're starting, and you kind of have to act that way too.
Rivers 18 of 32 for 196 yards. Sproles has rushed for 82. Gates sets up in the slot to the left. Chambers wide right. Sproles the running back. They start with Darren on the ground. And Raheem Brock is right there, trying to go underneath him and couldn't. It'll be second down and 11 after a loss of 1.
That was the thing. They had Bob Sanders up there, and that 8-man in the box, and he's not going to let you cut back. And when he's in there, you don't always want to cut back. But see, he becomes the 8th man up there. Now the Chargers know that he's up there, and they know how effective he is, so they block him. They pull their tackle, Marcus McNeil, to block the safety.
Vincent Jackson wide right. He was their second leading receiver this year. He did not catch a pass in regulation. Rivers rolling out, and Rivers has to throw it at the feet of Sproles. Circling around was Dwight Freeney, chasing him down from behind, setting up a third down and 11.
Yeah, and that clock in his head worked this time. In the last game, Dwight Freeney came on a play like this, and Rivers went like this, and Freeney stripped him, and he fumbled right about this position on the field. This time they knew, when I start doing this, I know that there's going to be someone there. And you say, why hasn't Vincent Jackson caught a deep one? Because they're playing him short with a bump and then having the safety over the top. They are not going to let him get beat.
Gates, the leading receiver tonight, with 7 catches. Rivers dumps it off to the left side, caught by Sproles. Sproles spinning, picks up the first down before Freddie Keaho can make the tackle. Boy, is this guy something.
In every area. I mean, in running the ball, we've seen him block tonight. We've seen him punt return, kickoff return, catch the ball. He'll catch it short and make yardage like that. He's just quicker and faster than anyone else on the field. You know, we know that the Colts have very good tacklers and a very fast, quick defense. Darren Sproles just runs right by him.
Michael Bennett now comes in. He's the running back. They give it to him, making his Charger debut. And Bennett with a decent run to the 43 behind Jacob Hester. Combined yardage tonight. Rushing, receiving, and running back kicks. Sproles has gained 303 yards. Make it 304. Add one more. Remember that unbelievable game Ed Podolak played?
Yes, I do.
I'll bet you do. Keith Lincoln, a former Charger. And now you've got Sproles. And part of the Podolak numbers came in overtime. That was the longest game in NFL history, in the double overtime. Christmas 1971. Second down and 4 from the 43-yard line. Flag is thrown. And there you go. Sproles going nowhere. Tackled by Hagler. And Rivers indicating it's going to be against Indianapolis. Normally, flag comes in from that direction. It's a hold on the offense.
Holding.
This time defense.
Number 68. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Eric Foster, rookie defensive tackle from Rutgers.
Yeah, and again, everyone is playing those screen passes and playing, you know, guys trying to pull. Watch it. Watch the center here now. he's trying to get out Hardwick, and he just grabs him right there. He not only grabs him, he spins him around. Watch him grab him there. You see he has his left hand in there on Nick Hardwick, and he just kept him going. It was coming to Dawson.
Yeah, right. Called the wrong number. Call should be against Dawson, not on Foster. At the 48 right now. A first down for San Diego. 2.5 minutes into overtime. Tomlinson hasn't played since early in the second quarter. Done for the night.
Peyton Manning anxiously awaiting to try and get another chance. And as Tony Dungy says, if you lose the snap, your defense has to play well.
Sproles. He'll take it to midfield. Picks up a couple. Clint Session makes the tackle, gain of 2. 2nd and 8 of the 50.
What they're doing is they're bringing that safety, Bob Sanders, every first down, and the Chargers, are running into it, and they're getting a body on Sanders, so they are gaining a few yards, but it's tough. And then they go on 2nd down and 3rd down, and they go back to the cover 2 and play the safeties deep. So they play the safety up on 1st down and then back them off on 2nd down.
2nd and 8. Rivers over the middle. That's caught, and fighting for the first down is Gates, and then the ball, did it come loose? Antonio Gates, it came loose, but he is able to come up with it. He recovers. Bethea makes the tackle, and that should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, Bethea played that well because that was a defense set up for that. They bring Bethea up. You see him right there, and he's going to take any crossing thing or any short thing in the middle, and that guy was Gates.
And he lost it. He fumbles, and he winds up as Antoine Bethea dislodges it, coming up with the ball as he's able to cradle it to his side. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Fake dispose, look out, and Rivers is going to throw, and Rivers is going to get away with what the Colts would feel would be intentional grounding. Mathis came in, and Winter is right there to say there was the receiver.
And you're just going to see Mathis come from this side right here, and you say, well, why does he get there that quickly? Because no one blocked him. I mean, how can you get in this situation, block your tackle down, and not block Mathis? I don't know.
Unanswerable.
I mean, I know 2 things. You better get Mathis on this side, and you better get Freeney on that side.
2nd and 10. Here's Sproles. And Sproles is going to take it to the 40-yard line. Reed makes the tackle. Now you're in a situation, again, if you don't gain a yard here, I don't know how you let Caden come out and attempt a 57-yard field goal. That's his career long, because the downside is so insidious. It means you give Indianapolis the ball at about the 47.
Right, and Indianapolis means Peyton Manning, and you don't want to give him any field position at all. I don't think if you don't get something here, I don't think you can afford to kick a field or try a field goal.
3rd and 8. Rivers. And there's a flag thrown, and there's all kinds of contact. Chris Chambers spinning like a top, and Tim Jennings was there, and Jennings contacted him, and that draws the flag.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 23. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Oh, so then that's not pass interference. That's just going to be 5 yards and a first down, because they're saying Tim Jennings right here held, and that means before the ball was in the air. So there's a hold right there. Now, if the ball's not in the air, it's just defensive holding, 5-yard penalty and a first down. If the ball were in the air and he did that, that would be pass interference, spot foul.
So they move it 5 yards to the 35. It's a 1st and 10. That's the 2nd first down via penalty on this drive for San Diego. Sproles runs right into Session, and another flag comes in. And as we said, this crew leads the league in penalties and penalty yardage.
Personal foul Face mask. Defense number 55.
That's Clint Sessions.
Penalty. First down.
And that moves them well within Kading's range.
As you see Sproles getting down there, there's Clint Sessions, number 55. Yep. There's the face mask right there.
Right.
Yeah, he did have the face mask, and he did twist it. Because that's either a 15-yard penalty now or no penalty.
Right, that's exactly right. Last year you could say it was the garden variety. Now it's not. So now clearly in Kading's range. Chargers are asking the crowd for a little quiet here so they can hear the signals. It's first down at the 20-yard line.
Now the situation here, do you just set up for a field goal or do you take a shot for the end zone first?
Sproles. Well, he loses a couple of yards. Some of the Charger fans right now must be thinking about sweet justice. Ed Hockley in week 2. I mean, that set up a season where they only were able to, at the very end, get into the playoffs. And now, and not that we're going to argue with any of these calls, but the officials have been so important on this drive with 3 first downs by penalty.
Right, and when you get Ron Winter as a referee, you kind of expect that that's going to happen. And even Tony Dungy said it last night, we're going to have a lot of flags. 9
against the Colts for 74 yards.
The Colts are not a blitzing team, but I think they have to now.
Here's Sproles. Sproles inside the 10, inside the 5, and the Chargers win the game. .328 combined yards for the 5'6", 181-pound Sproles.
Jacob Hester gets just enough block there to get Sproles to the outside. And what a player he is. I mean, tonight he's been a workhorse. He's an every down back. And if anyone had any questions about Darren Sproles, you can't have him anymore.
The San Diego Chargers have just won a trip to either Nashville or Pittsburgh. On they go to the next round. Final score in overtime, San Diego 23, Indianapolis 17. The Wendy's post-game report up next.